And they didn't nerf the critical weakness? You didn't nerf the motherfucking critical weakness! Now I went through, you never exposed the third name! What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you think you guys are on the game? Hello? Hello? Is it bad? I haven't looked at all. Don't spoil us. No spoilers. No spoilers. Oh my god. Is it gonna be bad? Oh my god. I don't even want to start. Is it big? Is it big? How long is it? Let me see. How long is it? How long is it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. We're gonna do this TTS style, or do I read?
Hi, I am Mark.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have Mark read this. That's a really bad voice. Oh, you want a better voice? What do you want me to do? Make my own AI voice and just read it in my own AI voice? Okay, new content and features. Added new playable classes, the Huntress. Added new Amazon Ritualist Ascendancy for the Huntress. Added new Stiff Smith of the Katava. Added new Tactician. Added new Lich. Added 25 new skills, primarily spear skills. Added over 100 new supports. Over 100 new supports, holy. Added 2 new classes. Or item classes, spears and bucklers, added over 100 uniques, added 8 new endgame maps, each with new encounters and new rewards, introduced 4 unique strongboxes, special chests with unique encounters, introduced 12 exiles, others like you who have been exiled and are openly hostile. Each one has their own skills and personalities and are much smarter than the average monster. These exiles use unique items that they will drop if you successfully kill them. That's crap.
Introduced Asmerian wisps, spirits that can be found throughout both the campaign and the endgame. As you approach these wisps, they will flee, leading you past monsters. Any monsters it comes into contact with are infused by the spirit, making them more powerful and the spirit more rewarding. Let them get away for too long and they'll dissipate and return to the woods. Added 15 new socketable items with new modifiers that you can craft onto your items. Introduce the Twilight Reliquary Key. When consumed at the Reliquary Vault, a new area on the endgame map, it grants you access to a vault with a chest that drops a special foil version of a unique item selected by our supporters. They can contain any unique found in Path of Exile 2, though if the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by the relevant content will be able to provide these items. The Twilight Reliquary currently has 453 options for foiled unique items that it can yield.
Wait, there's 453 uniques in the game? I didn't even realize that. Essence can now have Vol Orbs applied to them, corrupted Essence with a range of unpredictable outcomes. Greater Essence are possible to be upgraded to 4 new Corrupted Essence. Continue to incrementally improve sound, art, effects, and environments. Oh my god, dude. Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. Ready? That's a lot.
Endgame Changes. Areas of corruption on the Atlas now have a central corrupted nexus that is the source of the affliction. In the areas leading to the nexus, corruption will spill out from slain enemies and amalgamate into powerful monsters. Upon reaching the nexus, you will begin the task of cleansing the source of corruption. Complete this task and receive crystalline shards that you can use to obtain Atlas passive skill points. A boss for each faction has been added. These appear in the corrupted nexus. Additional corruption monster factions have also been introduced. Corruption monsters have had their visuals and animations improved, and their skills have been rebalanced. Corruption areas no longer implicitly have +1 to area level, but now are much more likely to have modifiers, and the modifiers can be more powerful. Some new corruption modifiers have also been added. Cleansing a nexus will cause surrounding maps to become cleansed maps which have their own set of monsters and rewards, including the newly introduced Fracturing Orb. The Fracturing Orb fractures a random modifier on a rare item with at least 4 modifiers, locking it in place. In order to open a corrupted nexus map, the waste and placed in the map device will need to have at least 4 modifiers. You can now respawn and return to a map if you die. Upon first entering the endgame, you get up to 6 total attempts per map. As you add more modifiers to a wasteland, the number of respawns goes down. In parties, everyone gets to respawn that number of times. You will be able to enter and exit your maps as much as you like as long as you haven't died. The number of portals is representative of the number of revives you have during the map. Once you start a boss fight, the respawning system will change to require the map owner to collectively respawn the entire party. This is so that you must still kill the boss from full life.
And that's how it is for solo too, right? You have to kill the boss from full life. Wait, where was I? Oh shoot, oh no, where the fuck was I? If you decide to... Okay, oh man, that's a lot of crap, dude.
If you decide to rush to the map boss without interacting with any of the other map content and then die, you will respawn at the boss checkpoint and only the map boss will be present. All of the other monsters and content will be removed. This is to prevent cases where players would be able to farm multiple copies of the same rewards by dying on purpose. The number of towers on the Atlas has been reduced drastically, but each one is now more powerful. Tablets, except Overseer tablets, inherently add twice as many mechanics to towers. Using higher tier wastelands in towers also now increases the number of mechanics supplied by tablets. By tier 15 the bonus is double, allowing a single tablet to now add 4 times as many things as before. Tower maps can now spawn with all extra content mechanics, including bosses. The number of maps affected by tablets has been doubled on average, and also now scales based on map tier. Killing rare monsters required for map completion no longer has a chance to grant monster modifiers to the remaining rare monsters. Increase the chances for rare monsters to have 3 or 4 modifiers in maps. Note this means they drop more items. This is mostly to compensate for the removal of rare monsters granting their modifiers to other rare monsters on death. A checkpoint now spawns when the last available optional content in a map has been completed. Extra content, such as Breach, Delirium, Expedition and Ritual, now start spawning further away from the Ziggurat Refuge. How wastelands are obtained in maps has been redesigned. Our intention is to make both sustaining wasteland drops much more reliable and less dependent on random elements. Wastelands can no longer drop at a lower tier than the map you're in. Wastelands dropped by final map bosses will now always be 1 tier higher than the map you're in. Final map bosses and the final naturally occurring rare monsters in tier 1 maps have a 100% chance to drop a wasteland. This chance scales down as you get into higher map tiers, but will still be guaranteed with appropriate investment into wasteland suffix modifiers and through the Atlas passive tree. Natural wasteland drops have been reduced to compensate. Removed chances for wastelands to drop a tier higher from the Atlas passive tree, and lowered the amount of wasteland quantity available on the Atlas passive tree. Sources of map boss have a chance to drop a wasteland of the current tier or higher, have been replaced by increased quantity of wastelands dropped by map bosses. Doriani now has up to 10 wastelands available to purchase, either at tier 1 or 1 tier below your highest completed tier. Overseer tablets now cause up to 2 to 4 maps in range to contain bosses, previously 3 to 7. The wasteland chance granted by wasteland suffix modifiers has been reduced as a result of the new chances to drop wastelands.
Holy crap, this is insane. Did they like change the whole thing? Because, okay, so now towers are more juice. They said there was half the number of towers. They changed the whole like system of how waystones are like.
Hey Catboy, happy patch notes day.
Holy crap, dude. I didn't even like, there's just so many waystone changes. But I guess all of this is just by feel. I can't really visualize what's really going to happen to waystones right now from all of these changes because
Ooh, you're so popular.
God, we don't even know. But it looks like you're going to be getting waystones easier. No, don't spoil anything. I will ban. That's crazy. What's going to happen to the rest of it? Dude, there's so many changes. Holy crap, man.
Unidentified wastelands now provide 30% increased wasteland drop chance, instead of 30% increased quantity. The first 5 different unique maps you complete each now grant 2 Atlas passive skill points, for a total of 10 points. The specialities of some maps have been adjusted to account for the addition of Asmerian spirits. Added new modifiers relating to Asmerian spirits for Overseer's tablets. Added new modifiers relating to Asmerian spirits and rogue exiles for precursor tablets. The Untainted Paradise map now has 200 to 400% increased experience gained, previously 150 to 300%. A new crafting mechanic called Recombination has been added to Expedition, which allows you select mods on 2 items, hoping to get the best elements of each on a single item. As you select more mods, the chance of success decreases. If you are not successful, the items will be destroyed. This will be unlocked as you complete your first expedition, and requires artifacts found during the expedition to fuel it. The tablet modifier that causes ritual favors in your maps to have 5 to 10% increased chance to be omens now has
That's crazy. Like, I didn't think they would go through with this, but they did. So, a new crafting mechanic called Recombination has been added to Expedition, which allows you to select 2 items, or select mods on 2 items, hoping to get the best elements of each on a single item. That is crazy. Like, this is like as deterministic as any crafting like we've ever had in the game. I know you can lose your items, but this is like deterministic as fuck. Yeah, you just pick it. Yeah, it is honestly just super insane. Yeah, I know there's a chance, but it's still like super, super crazy though, that you get to deterministically like pick out the mods from the item. I don't know. I think this is just crazy. At least like this is like the best crafting. I think this is the best crafting like we've ever had in, well, I think this is pretty crazy. If recombinators weren't as crazy in Settlers right now, this is probably the best like like crafting thing this game has ever offered, or GGG has ever offered in terms of crafting. This is like freaking insane.
The tablet modifier that causes ritual favors in your maps to have 5 to 10% increased chance to be omens now has values of 15 to 25%. The Overseer tablet modifier that causes map boss to have a plus 10 to 20% chance to drop a wasteland of the current tier or higher now has values of plus 5 to 8%. Precursor tablet suffixes that granted additional base chance for random extra content, now instead grant increased chance. This affects existing items. The tablet modifier that provides increased rarity of items found in your maps now has values of 10 to 15%, previously 10 to 20%. The tablet modifier that provides increased quantity of items found in your maps now has values of 3 to 7%, previously 3 to 8%. The tablet modifier that provides increased pack size in your maps now has values of 3 to 7%, previously 3 to 8%. The tablet modifier that provides increased gold found in your maps now has values of 10 to 15%, previously 5 to 10%. Tablet modifiers that give breaches in your map's increased monster density now give 4 to 6%, previously 5 to 10%, while the modifier that also gives breaches open faster now has values of 3 to 5%, previously 8 to 12%. The tablet modifier for rare monsters having an additional modifier can no longer roll. The modifier in Simulacrum for rare monsters having an additional modifier no longer appears. The various endgame quests that lead to the Arbiter of Ash encounter have been consolidated into a single quest. All bosses that are affected by difficulty in Simulacrum can now drop all of their specific unique items at any difficulty, however rare uniques are even rarer at lower difficulties. This also applies to the drop chances for reliquary keys from this content.
Wow. It looks like they reduced like pretty much all the juice from like every single thing here. You're getting a little bit of like less of everything, but I don't think it really matters much. It's just meant to be more of a like a breach nerf, right? And a slight quantity nerf than like anything else. But got slight gold buff. I don't know. Like, I don't think any of this like really matters. No, I don't know. I didn't know when the patch notes were coming out, so I don't want to just like sit here and do nothing for like.
Pinnacle boss content now takes roughly half the amount of time to unlock compared to before. In addition, Pinnacle bosses have been made much easier at difficulty 0 as well. It's our intention to allow you to face difficulty 0 of this content much earlier in your endgame progression while still preserving the difficulty of difficulty 4. Players no longer lose experience from dying in Simulacrum, the Twisted Domain, Olroth's Arena Inside Logbooks, the Crux of Nothingness, or the Burning Monolith. Players also no longer gain experience from killing monsters in these areas. Move the location of the stash in Simulacrum to make it harder to accidentally start the encounter when trying to open the stash. Reduced the power of notables on the League-specific atlas.
Alright, let me, I feel like this is a step in the wrong direction. I feel like instead of not letting you lose EXP, they should have gave you way more EXP for killing stuff in this area. Like, for people who actually make good builds, they should get rewarded, not for the shitty builds not to get punished. This is like terrible handholding at, like, I don't know, right? It should, like, the game should reward you for playing better, not fucking, like, put bumpers on your fucking bowling alley.
Reduced the power of notables on the League-specific Atlas passive trees for acquiring logbooks, breach splinters, Simulacrum splinters and an audience with the king. Delirium encounters in maps now reward 1 Simulacrum splinter each time a reward type is filled. Simulacrum splinters can now be obtained through Delirium encounters in all map tiers, with the amount scaling up per map tier. The base number of monsters spawned in Delirium encounters has been reduced, and the number that emerge by touching fracturing mirrors has been greatly increased. Reduced the intensity of the fog in Delirium encounters. The number of monsters spawned from breaches has been reduced. A higher percentage of the total number of breach monsters spawned are now spawned earlier in the encounter. Reduced the number of small breach chests found. Breach splinters can now be obtained from breaches in all map tiers, with the amount scaling up per map tier. Breach and Delirium encounters are now considered complete when you open the clasped hand or Delirium mirror. Strongboxes now spawn slightly more packs of monsters in maps. Omens now always appear as ritual rewards in map areas. There's also a small chance for an additional omen to appear. The vendors in the Ziggurat Refuge and those in your hideout now correctly have level 65 items available, rather than one having level 60 items and the other level 70. If you exit the game while in an endgame map area, logging back into the same character will now place you back inside the map instance if it still exists.
Okay, so they took away the EXP from all of these bosses? Wait, did they take it away from breaches? Wait, they did. Wait, that's ass. So you don't get EXP from Simulacrum anymore either? That's horrible. No. I definitely got some EXP from doing breach tablets. Oh, I think that's a step in the wrong direction, I'm gonna be honest. Added supports for Asmerian spirits and rogue exiles in the Atlas passive tree. I don't want to. makes me just fucking tired, dude.
Added more notable passives and reworked some existing ones to make the available choices more interesting. The Deadly Evolution Atlas keystone has been replaced by a new keystone called Ecological Shift, which causes your maps to have 40% more chance to contain random extra content, and 20% less number of monster packs in your maps. Can now obtain 40 Atlas passive skill points, previously 30. The Crumbling Walls Atlas notable passive now has 10% chance for an additional breach, previously 15%, 3% chance for 3 additional breaches, previously 5%, and 1% chance for 10 additional breaches, previously 2%. The Extreme Archaeology notable Atlas passive no longer causes monsters to spawn with 20% of their life missing. The Frantic Invasion Atlas notable passive now has 50% increased quantity of breach splinters dropped by breach monsters in your maps, previously 75%. The Grasping Hands Atlas notable passive now has 30% more clasped hands, previously 50%, and clasped hands in your maps have 20% chance to be guarded by a pack of magic monsters, previously 25%. The Interdimensional Assault Atlas notable passive now has breaches in your maps have 10% increased monster density, previously 15%.
The Ominous Portent Atlas notable passives now cause ritual favors in your maps to have 100% increased chance to be omens, previously 50%. The Rising Pyre Atlas notable passive now has breaches in your maps have a 25% increased monster density, previously 40%. So just overall breach nerfs. They just slam breach and a little bit of nerf to expedition, a big freaking thing for a ritual. I mean, like, the whole game was just dominated by breach, right? And buffs to omens. So, I mean, all the other things in the game were not worth doing. So they just slam breach to basically complete dog shit. Breach will still probably be good, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't finished the patch notes at all.
General improvements. In order to work around a common crash that was occurring on NVIDIA hardware with recent drivers, the game can now recover from device removed events. When this occurs, the game will display a loading screen and pause while it attempts to recover. This only applies for this specific type of client crash, not all client crashes. The reforging benches in towns have been repositioned to more optimal locations. The stash and guild stashes have also been slightly spaced apart to reduce misclicking. Strongboxes can now appear in certain Act 1 areas. Added a stash to the treasure room in the Trials of Chaos. Many fire skills now visually burn grass in areas. Improved the performance of summoning and reviving minions. Further improved safety checks preventing using movement skills to skip the elevators in the Trials of Chaos encounters and prevent the encounters from functioning correctly.
So popular.
The jumps performed
Cat.
when using Escape Shot and Toxic Growth now allow you to jump over enemies and small amounts of terrain. Vaulting Impact will also receive this change at a later date. The Decay debuff from Decaying Hex support now uses a more appropriate visual effect and displays below the enemy's life bar.
Grenade skills now have a small amount of random variation in travel distance? Wait, they made grenades worse? How the fuck do you guys make grenades worse? Oh, I can't believe this. Firebolt now uses the same animation as freezing shards instead of the generic projectiles animation. Updated the 3D art of the stash and guild stash. Player changes. Holy shit, okay, here we go. Here we go. Player changes, let's go.
Player changes. Characters are now required to be at least level 25 to enter cruel difficulty areas and level 50 to enter endgame areas. The player's base attack speed while unarmed is now 1.4 attacks per second, previously 1.2. Killing Palm, Shattering Palm, Staggering Palm and Hand of Chayula now have 25% less attack speed to compensate for this change, previously 10%.
Wait, that's a buff! That's a buff! Wait, I thought it says all nerfs. That's a buff!
Freeze now builds up roughly 48% slower on enemies. Player
That's a
base
nerf.
ailment threshold is now half of maximum life, previously
What?
all of maximum life. Presence base radius.
Oh no! Is this 315 all over again? That's terrible, bro. That is terrible. We lost 1,000 ailment threshold? We're gonna be frozen all day. This is ass. This is ass.
Presence base radius is now 4 meters, previously 6 meters. Monster modifiers stolen from rare monsters, such as
Wait.
Throughbehead support.
Wait, presence radius is that?
Monster modifiers stolen from rare monsters, such as Throughbehead support, have had the effect they provide to players adjusted to be more appropriate. The cruel version of Candlemas Essence now provides 5% increased life, previously 8%. The Worn Sandals Trial of the Sekima's Affliction now grants 30% less movement speed if you've been hit by an enemy recently, previously 25% reduced movement speed.
That's a buff.
Blocking a hit by raising your shield or parrying now gives you a chance to avoid accumulating heavy stun build-up equal to the chance you would otherwise have had to evade the hit. Unified stun mechanics and terminology between players and monsters. The stagger that players suffer when blocking too much damage with their shield raised is now a heavy stun. Players are still unable to be heavy stunned unless a mechanic specifically states otherwise.
That's not good. This is not good. Oh no. Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm not taking any damage next league. Oh no, that's gonna be free city. Melee? Fuck that.
Players can no longer be light stunned while their shield is raised. Modifiers to curse effect have been changed to instead apply to curse magnitude. This means that they are multiplicative with any other modifiers to the effect of the debuff on the target. For example, curse magnitude and slow magnitude are now multiplicative with each other for temporal chains.
Oh,
Player-created objects, such as ice crystals, no longer have a monster power value. Ice crystals can no longer apply on kill effects such as Herald of Ash and Trample Toes Overkill. Players have 50% more light stun threshold per time stunned in past 4 seconds, previously 25.
Wait. Players' objects as ice crystals no longer have monster power value? Ice crystals can no longer apply to on-kill effects like Herald of Ash and Trample Toe? Players have a 50% more light stun threshold per time stunned in the past 4 seconds? What does this mean? Players have a 50% more light stun threshold per time stunned in the past 4 seconds. Previously 25% more player light stun threshold per time stunned in the last past. I don't even know what this is.
Players have 50% more light stun threshold per time stunned in past 4 seconds. Previously 25% more player light stun threshold per time stunned in past 6 seconds.
Meow.
Your heavy stun bar now doesn't start emptying until the heavy stun animation has finished, instead of when the heavy stun animation starts. Heavy stun duration on players is now 3 seconds, previously 1 second.
What?
Players cannot block or evade hits while they're heavy stunned.
What? That's insane. That means if you get heavily stunned, you're dead. 100%. Like you're just completely dead. There's no way you're living through that. Heavy stun just means you're dead.
Critical weakness stacks now track duration individually, rather than refreshing the duration of all stacks when a new stack is gained. Pinned targets can no longer evade. Pinning a target now also causes them to be light stunned. The base duration for endurance, frenzy and power charges is now 15 seconds, previously 20. Fully broken armor now causes enemies to take 20% increased physical damage from hits.
Wait, that's a buff.
Revivable minions now spawn with their skills on cooldown. This only applies to newly summoned minions, not minions that have just revived. An ancestrally boosted slam now has 30% more damage and 20% more area of effect, previously 20% for both. Persistent minions granted by Ascendancy passive skills will now automatically be summoned when you allocate the passive for the first time. Players and monsters now only count as moving while moving, rather than for the whole length of many animations that have some movement during some part of them. Setting a stat to a specific value, such as Chaos Inoculation setting your life to 1 or Blood Magic setting your mana to 0, now occurs before conversion is applied to that stat, rather than being ignored by conversion.
Oh man, that's fucked. Oh my lord. There goes all of that. Yo, we got destroyed. Can we finish? I don't want to keep. This is like every relationship I've ever had with a girl. Like at this point, I just don't want to continue anymore because I know everything else that I continue with is just gonna go downhill. It's just downhill. She's gonna start doing drugs. She's gonna start cheating on me. Like I can't do this anymore. This is downhill. This is like I don't even want to continue, bro. Like we're so fucked. We're so fucked, dude. We are so fucked, and we have charms. Charms? Oh my god, dude. All right, guys, here's the real. Does stun charm prevent heavy stun? Because I'm about to get +2 charms and just have nothing but stun charms in my inventory, bro. Because this is like you're just automatically dead. I need like 3 stun charms. Because that's auto death. Oh, this is crazy, dude. This is crazy. All right, and Ascendancy Changes. Titan? Wait, Ascendancy Changes Titan? Titan?
Ascendancy Changes. Titan. The surprising strength Ascendancy notable passive now provides 50% more damage against heavy stunned enemies, previously 40%. The Earthbreaker Ascendancy notable passive now provides a 25% chance for slam skills you use yourself to cause aftershocks, previously 20%.
Titan buffed? Holy! Titan buffed! Juicy Warbringer. All right, let's see.
Warbringer. The Warcaller's Bellow Ascendancy passive skill now causes war cries to explode corpses, dealing 25% of their life as physical damage, instead of providing corpses in your presence explode when you warcry, dealing 25% of their life as physical damage. This allows for warcry area of effect to scale the corpse explosion radius.
Whoa!
The Turtle Charm Ascendancy passive skill now has 25% less block chance, previously 35%.
Oh, that's a
buff! The Encase in Jade skill has been reworked. It now consumes all stacks of Jade to grant guard based off of your maximum life for each Jade stack consumed.
Holy
The Ancestral Spirit skill granted by the Answered Call Ascendancy passive skill now has, minions from this skill have 1% increased accuracy rating per 3 of your dexterity, and, minion from this skill have 1% increased damage per 3 of your strength. The minions granted by this skill have had the following changes. Ancestral Jadecaster's pinning skill has had its cooldown lowered to 10 seconds, previously 15. Ancestral Jade Hulk damage now has 300% more stun build-up, previously 200%. The Warcaller's Bellow buff from the Ancestral Warhorn now grants 10 rage on hit, previously 5, and 20% increased skill speed, previously 10%. The Power Shell Aura from the Ancestral Spirit Turtle now grants nearby allies 80% increased defenses, previously 50%, and 40% increased block chance, previously 25%.
Wait. Warbringer, but wait, encased in Jade is insane. Now consumes all Jade and grant guard based off your maximum life for each Jade stat consumed? Wait. They didn't give us a number. What's the number? You guys get... What is it, 1? Bro, come on! 1 guard for 5k life? Wait, this might be good. This might be good. Or this might be complete caca. We don't know. But, yo, this is pretty good. I think the previous one was pretty harsh, Turtle Charm. But now it's like, now it's pretty good. And you get extra AoE from your explodes. Yo, Warbringer, big buffs, man. Big buffs for Warbringer. Woo! Melee.
Gemling Legionnaire. The Enhanced Effectiveness Ascendancy passive skill now also grants 20% less attributes. The Integrated Efficiency Ascendancy passive skill has swapped positions with Gem Studded. It no longer provides +3 skill slots. Instead, it now causes skills to gain 20% increased damage per socketed red support gem, skills gain 6% increased skill speed per socketed green support gem, and skills gain 20% increased critical hit chance per socketed blue support gem.
Wait, that's pretty
The
good.
Implanted Gems Ascendancy passive skill no longer provides +1 to level of all skills. Instead, it now provides a choice between +2 to level of all skills with a strength requirement, +2 to level of all skills with a dexterity requirement, or +2 to level of all skills with an intelligence requirement.
Wait, big buffs! Big buffs! Huge buffs! Gemling? Witch Hunter. All right, here we go. Witch Hunter. Here we go.
Witch Hunter. The No Mercy Ascendancy passive skill now causes you to deal up to 40% more damage to enemies based on their missing concentration, previously 30%. The Obsessive Rituals Ascendancy passive skill now provides 35% less armor and evasion rating, previously 50%. The Sorcery Ward Barrier recharge delay has also been reduced by 2 seconds at all gem levels.
Wait, that's good. Wait, that's pretty good. Wait, that's pretty big. Wait, Sorcery Ward. Wait, guys, that's not trash. Bro, that's not trash. Okay. It's still kind of bad. Oh no, it's 8 to 10. Oh no, it's kind of bad still. I mean, like 6 seconds isn't the worst.
Grink donated $3. They didn't bug fix Bone Storm full move speed while channeling. If you tap start channel and wait until slow goes away, then hold the channel again, you can run at normal speed while holding full charge.
I know, but like I try to report these bugs and Jung just like messages me, he just DMs like shut the fuck up. If you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna like start like telling everyone your secrets. And this guy is just like going on a rampage, just like telling me the STFU everywhere. That guy is crazy, dude. All right, where's my
Deadeye. The Thrilling Chase Ascendancy passive skill now provides, when you consume frenzy charges you count as having consumed twice as many, previously a 50% chance, and described in a slightly different way.
Oh, wait. That's kind of good. Counts as consumed twice as many? Woo-wee. That's kind of good. Pathfinder. All right, let's see what Pathfinder got.
Pathfinder. The Running Assault Ascendancy passive skill now grants 50% less movement speed penalty from using skills while moving, previously 30%. The location of this passive skill has been swapped with Relentless Pursuit. The Connected Chemistry Ascendancy passive skill has been removed. Enduring Elixirs no longer has a prerequisite.
What?
Added a new multi-choice Practical Remedies Ascendancy passive skill that provides the ability to allocate Grounding Stick, Dousing Vial, or Thawing Campfire, which provide immunity to shock, immunity to ignite, and immunity to freeze respectively. Added a new Sustainable Practices Ascendancy passive skill which provides 30% of evasion rating, also grants elemental damage reduction. Requires Practical Remedies.
That's insane. What? Wait. I don't think they wrote this right. I don't get what this does. 30% of evasion rating also grants elemental damage reduction. What does that mean? Is that like fireproof? Or is that 60% evasion equals 20 DR because there's a huge difference. Okay, so if it means like if you have like see, but it says evasion rating though. That would say that the way you guys are describing it, it would say 30% of evasion chance also grants elemental damage reduction. This sounds like it's fucking giving you fireproofing. Did they just give you this but for armor? But for evasion? But how does that even work? Where the fuck is fireproofing? Or heatproofing? No, that's different wording either. I don't know what this does. They either like stated it wrong because evasion rating is 12k. Like you have like 10k evasion rating. Well, how does that factor into damage reduction? I don't know. Like, I don't know how this works. This is a really bad description. There is no way if you have 9k, 10k evasion, you're gonna lose.
Really?
It has 3,000 reduced elemental damage taken. Come on, bro. Like, stop it. Stop it. Don't be idiots. None of this makes sense. I would say the things that make the most sense is your evasion chance is 30% increased elemental damage reduction. So like that would be the thing that makes sense, right? So if you had 50% evasion, you would get 15% EDR. I don't know, man. This is a bad description. I have no idea what this does. Because none of the other things make sense. Like how do you go evasion into like damage reduction? Because like it doesn't have the same formula as armor, right?
Acolyte of Chayla. The Embrace the Darkness Ascendancy passive skill now provides +8 to maximum darkness per level, previously +5. The Ravenous Doubts Ascendancy passive skill no longer provides Mana Leech is instant. Instead, it now provides Mana Leech recovers based on other damage types as well as physical damage. Honor lost during the trial of the Sekimas is now taken before the Acolyte of Chayla's Darkness.
They finally fixed this node! Holy shit! They finally fixed this node! Oh, hell yeah. All right, at least Chonk works now as Ascendancy. So next league, I'll play some Chonk maybe. Maybe it's time to play some Chonk. Let's see.
Invoker. The and Protect Me from Harm Ascendancy passive skill now provides 50% less evasion rating, previously 40%. The Lead Me Through Grace. Ascendancy passive skill now provides 1 spirit for every 8 energy shield on equipped body armor, previously 6, and 1 spirit for every 20 evasion rating on equipped body armor, previously 15. The Elemental Expression skill, granted by the and Scatter Them to the Winds Ascendancy passive skill, now deals 40% more damage at all gem levels.
Wait, Elemental Expression got buffed? Too bad none of us can use Elemental Expression because it costs 9,697 fucking mana per use, and you guys didn't even reduce it because it's not attack, it's a fucking spell, and it costs like 10 million goddamn mana to use once. Come on! It doesn't matter if you buff the damage or not. None of us played it because we can't cast it.
Blood Mage. The Blood Barb's Ascendancy passive skill no longer provides 10% of damage gained as extra physical damage. It now causes bleeding you inflict on cursed targets to be aggravated. Added anew between the Cracks Ascendancy passive skill that causes critical hits to ignore monster armor. Requires Sanguimancy.
Wait, that's huge Quinn buff. That is a huge Quinn buff, man. Double damage for Quinn? Holy! Oh, Infernalist.
Infernalist. The Demon Form skill granted by the Demonic Possession Ascendancy passive skill now has a cooldown of 15 seconds, previously 20, and a maximum Demon Flame of 10, previously uncapped. You now lose a flat amount of life per second per Demon Flame, scaling with skill level, rather than a percentage of your maximum life. The dodge roll while in Demon Form has also had its distance reduced. The Seething Body Ascendancy passive skill now has while on high Infernal Flame, you and your allies in your presence gain 50% of damage as fire damage, previously 20%. The Grinning Immolation Ascendancy passive skill now provides 50% more critical damage bonus, previously 30%. The Pyromantic Pact Ascendancy passive skill now causes 50% of Infernal Flame to be lost per second if none was gained in the past 2 seconds, previously 10%. The Bringer of Flame Ascendancy passive skill now causes all damage from you and allies in your presence to contribute to Ignite Chance and Magnitude, instead of providing, while not on low Infernal Flame, all damage from you and allies in your presence contributes to Ignite Chance and Magnitude. No longer required Pyromantic Pact. The Loyal Hellhound Ascendancy passive skill no longer causes 20% of damage from hits to be taken from your Hellhound's life before you. The Mastered Darkness Ascendancy passive skill now grants, Demon Flame has no maximum. The Small Mana Ascendancy passive skills now provide 3% increased maximum mana, previously 4%. After allocating the Pyromantic Pact Ascendancy passive skill, you will now have at least one maximum Infernal Flame, even with 100% reduced maximum mana. Using Blink while in Demon Form now plays an appropriate animation instead of landing to blink.
You know when before the game started, I thought the Demon Flame freaking things was like messed up, right? I was like, how does this even make sense? You were supposed to restrict the first one, so when you take the second one, you get buffed, right? When you can like keep going. And then people were like, no, it was supposed to work like this. And it was like, and no one took the second node because it was fucking backwards. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? How does that even make sense? Anyways, now it makes sense.
Chronomancer. The circular heartbeat ascendancy passive skill has been removed.
Meow.
Rapid River no longer has a prerequisite. The Quicksand Hourglass ascendancy passive skill now grants, every 10 seconds, gain 50% more cast speed for 5 seconds. Previously every 12 seconds, gain 50% more cast speed for 4
Buff?
seconds. Added a new Flood of Echoes ascendancy passive skill that grants the Unleash skill.
Grants the Unleash skill? What is the Unleash skill? Hey, what is the Unleash skill? Bro, what are these from staves? Well, I don't even know what this is. Wait. Back on Infernalist. What the fuck happened here? Okay, I understand the Demon Mommy thing was like backwards, right? But now it's more in line with what it should be. Did they fix the whole issue where it doesn't need a weapon? Because that's kind of fucked, right? There's a lot of changes here. It looks like they made all the other things, like they buffed everything else, like the crit and like the 50% fire damage, 50% damages extra fire, right? But they removed the DR from the dog. So what the fuck do you just get the dog as a minion now? That's crazy. Allocated, yeah, and they finished they killed off the reduced mana to 100%. Shit. All right, let's see Stormweaver. Let's see how bad Stormweaver is.
Stormweaver. The Force of Will ascendancy passive skill now provides 1% increased effect of Arcane Surge on you per 25 maximum mana, previously 15 mana. The Scouring Winds ascendancy passive skill now causes exposure you inflict to lower the affected resistance by an additional 12%, previously 20%. The Strike Twice ascendancy notable passive no longer provides 50% less shock duration. Instead, it now provides 25% less magnitude of shock you inflict. The Small Mana ascendancy passive skills no longer provide 4% increased maximum mana, and now provide 12% increased mana regeneration rate.
Wait, Stormweaver got her poop hole like enlarged. All right. I mean, I feel like all of these changes were pretty fair. I don't know, man. I feel like all of these changes were pretty fair. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anything is unwarranted here. I feel like this is good. Dude, freaking Demon Mommy players were doing like campaign in like 4.5 hours because they just got fucking like unlimited Infernal Flame with freaking like checkpoint regen, and they just fucking like just blasted the whole entire campaign. And they were going to be in red maps before we even finished campaign. So this was 100% needed. Everything else has been pretty fair, I feel like. Don't you guys think so? I feel like GGG has been pretty fair so far, except for like maybe 50 of the changes out of the 100 that we've read. I think they're more than half the time they've been pretty fair. We're so fucked.
Passive skill tree changes. With the addition of the Huntress and other new game mechanics, we've added passive support for these throughout the passive skill tree. There are many new clusters, mostly in the Huntress, Ranger area of the tree, and many existing passive skills have been updated. These changes may result in your existing passive tree being forcefully refunded if you had allocated nodes around the areas where the layout changed. Added new blind-related clusters. Added new volatility-related clusters. Added new ranged and melee-related clusters. Added new hazards-related clusters. Added new companion-related clusters. Added new presence radius and aura-related clusters. Added new parry-related clusters. Added new banner-related clusters. Added new bleeding-related clusters. Added new thorns-related clusters. Added a new quiver-related cluster.
Wait, a new quiver-related cluster? I don't know about this one. Added
a new Crimson Assault Keystone passive skill to the southeast of the Ranger and Huntress starting location. Crimson Assault causes bleeding you inflict to be aggravated, and base bleeding duration to be 1 second. Added a new Trusted Kinship Keystone passive skill to the southeast of the Ranger and Huntress starting location. Trusted Kinship allows you to have 2 companions of different types, causes companions to have +1 to each defense for every 2 of that defense you have, and also causes you to have 30% less defenses. The following notable passive skills have been removed. You will no longer be able to instill them, but existing ones will still function. Break Focus, Hold Focus, Lasting Concoctions, No Escape, Pinned Down, and Potent Concoctions. 12 jewel sockets have been removed from the passive skill tree. Existing characters with jewels in these removed sockets can reclaim their jewels to their main inventory using the...
What? 12? It's over. It's all over.
Existing characters with jewels in these removed sockets can reclaim their jewels to their main inventory using the new Reclaim Jewels chat command. The Acrobatics Keystone passive skill now grants 75% less evasion rating, previously 70%.
It's okay, I never used that keystone anyway. That keystone's for fucking pussies. Pussy keystone. Dodge your slams like a real man, or just tank them.
The Eldritch Battery Keystone passive skill now has the additional property of doubles mana cost. The Giant's Blood Keystone passive skill now has triple attribute requirements of martial weapons. This previously only affected axes, maces and swords, but was described as weapons. The Cat-like Agility notable passive skill now provides 40% increased evasion rating if you dodge rolled recently.
Which one of you fuckers did this on purpose? There was no need for this. There was no need for this. Like, this did not need to be buffed just so you guys put it on patch notes so I have to fucking listen to it. This was uncalled for. Somebody at GGG has a vendetta just to do this to me.
The Cat-like Agility notable passive skill now provides 40% increased evasion rating if you dodge rolled recently, previously 25%. The Falcon Technique notable passive skill now grants 1% increased attack speed per 25 dexterity, previously per 15 dexterity. The Freedom of Movement notable passive skill now provides 10% reduced movement speed penalty from using skills, previously 30% evasion rating if you dodge rolled recently. The Heavy Buffer notable passive skill now grants 5% of damage taken bypasses energy shield.
That's insane. What? Wait, that's insane. 10%? Holy, that's a buff. That's a buff.
The Heavy Buffer notable passive skill now grants 5% of damage taken bypasses energy shield, instead of 10% reduced maximum life. The Icebreaker notable passive skill now grants additional freeze threshold equal to 50% of maximum energy shield, previously 100%.
Wait, that's good too. Yo, Heavy Buffer? Wait, oh shit. Wait, that's pretty good for a Lich, bro. That's more DR. More DR for Lich. Holy, big buffs, dude. Big buffs. Let's see.
The Mana Blessing notable passive skill no longer has 5% increased maximum mana, and now provides 20% increased mana regeneration rate. The Master Fletching notable passive skill now provides 20% increased bonuses gained from equipped quiver, previously 30%. The two small passive skills prior now have values of 6%, previously 10%, while the two passive skills after now provide 20% increased chance to inflict ailments with projectiles, or 15% increased projectile stun buildup. The Pylon notable passive skill now grants 30% increased armor break debuff effect instead of its previous effects. The Polymathy notable passive skill now grants 7% increased attributes, previously 10%. The Raw Mana notable passive skill now provides 8% increased maximum mana, previously 12%. The Spaghettification notable passive skill now grants +1/3 to all attributes, instead of 7% increased attributes. It also now provides -7% to chaos resistance, previously -13%. The Split the Earth notable passive skill now has 10% chance for mace strike skills you use yourself to cause aftershocks, dealing the same damage to enemies within 1.8 meters, area previously not specified. The Unhindered notable passive skill now provides 12% reduced movement speed penalty from using skills while moving, previously increased 3% movement speed.
Wait, that's
One
insane.
of the slow effect on you small passive skills in this cluster has also been updated to provide 8% reduced movement speed penalty. The Unwavering Stance Keystone passive skill no longer has, your stun threshold is doubled. Instead, it now has, cannot be light stunned. The small attack damage with nearby ally passive skill in the Killer Instinct cluster has been replaced with another small passive skill providing 10% increased attack damage. Small passive skills that previously provided 8% increased effect of auras from your aura skills now have values of 5%. Notable passive skills that provided 20% increased effect of auras from your aura skills now have values of 12%. Clarified the wording of the Iron Grip and Iron Will Keystone effects.
Wait, okay, so bows heavily nerfed, attributes heavily nerfed, mana nerfed, but this is insane though. The unhindered, like they're giving you so many unhindered. They're giving you so many ways to be more agile while you're fighting on Ranger. It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy. It's actually really nice. It's like right next to the crit node too for 3 points. You know what's the best thing about this node? It gets hit by this freaking like large jewel here. It hits this node, this node, this node, this node, and like the movement speed node here, right? That jewel is going to be insane because this node is like GG now. -12 jewels? Oh shit, do you think they removed these? No way, right? Where's 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They removed the outer. They removed the outer, right? They removed the outer because outer is 12. There's no way they removed the inner. The inner is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, it's the same. Wait, this is insane. Wait, do you think the inner is gone? There's no way the inner is gone. The outer is like, oh man. What if what they did was I don't even know what they did. This is crazy. This is crazy. 12 jewels are gone. Why didn't they just nerf the jewels all in half instead of taking away the slots? Wouldn't it make sense to just nerf jewel mods in half instead of taking away your slots? Because now like all the cool jewels are like kind of like fuck, my lips are a little swollen right now because I got like mouth herpes from kissing a girl the other day. So now it's all freaking swollen. She like bit my fucking like lip. And now I have like mouth herpes. No, I don't know, dude. No, I don't have mouth herpes, but like she bit like she went into the inside of my mouth and she like bit down and now it's all like bruised here. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And I just like, I don't know, abusive women. Yeah. Well, I didn't kiss a dude. And it wasn't by choice either. She kind of just forced herself on me. Okay, here we go. Skill changes. Let's go. Skill changes. Skill changes. How bad is this going to be, guys? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute worst and 1 being okay, how bad is this going to be? All right, let's go.
Skill changes. Many skills have had their base damage and/or damage growth per level rebalanced. Most of these changes are not specifically mentioned below as the changes are too widespread. The mana cost for all attacks, marks and warcries has been reduced, most notably at higher gem levels. Adjusted minion damage and life scaling. General damage and life is the same early game, but lower than before at higher levels, especially past gem level 20. Adjusted the target life threshold for skeletal arsonist's explosive demise skill accordingly with the life scaling changes. Adjusted skeletal cleric's heal life scaling accordingly. Arc no longer deals more damage for each remaining chain, and chains 6 to 8 times at gem levels 5 to 20, previously 2 to 5. Quality now provides 0 to 2% more damage for each remaining chain, previously 0 to 5%. Archmage now causes non-channeling spells to gain 3% of damage as extra lightning damage for each 100 maximum mana you have at all gem levels, previously 5 to 6% at gem levels 14 to 20. Non-channeling spells now cost an additional 6.7 to 6.1% of your maximum mana at gem levels 14 to 20, previously 5.35 to 5.05%. He now provides 0 to 10% reduced reservation. Instead of granting non-channeling spells gain 0 to 2% of damage as extra lightning damage for each 100 maximum mana you have.
So Archmage went from 8% damage as extra lightning damage to 3? You know what's sad? You know what the sad thing is? People are still going to use this. They're still going to play it. That's how broken it was before. People are still going to use this. Oh, we're going to go through these gems very slowly. And Arc now deals more damage for each remaining, no longer deals more damage for each remaining chain. Chains 6 to 8 times, previously 2 to 5. So it's just more of a clear skill now?
Armor Breaker has had the Armor Break amount lowered by roughly 20% at all gem levels.
What?
Artillery Ballista base physical damage scaling now matches that of other totems like Shockwave Totem and Ripwire Ballista. The Artillery Explosion now converts 100% of physical damage to fire damage, previously 90%. Quality now provides 0 to minus 0.4 seconds to totem base attack time, previously increased attack speed. Ancestral Warrior Totem now explicitly states that it wields a two-handed mace, to clarify that it benefits from your mace-related stats. Quality is now plus 0 to 2 seconds to totem duration, previously plus 0 to 0.4.
Okay. Warrior slightly nerfed, and then slightly buffed. Artillery Ballista
Banner
buffed.
skills now have an aura radius of 4.5 meters, previously 4, and are now correctly considered aura skills.
Oh shit!
Barrage repeats now deal 50% less damage at all gem levels, previously 23 to 15% at gem levels 5 to 20. 560 to 410% of repeated skills attack time is now added to this skill's cooldown, to a maximum of 30 seconds at gem levels 5 to 20, previously 1440 to 1215%. Quality now causes repeats to deal plus 0 to 5% more damage, previously plus 0 to 15%. Barrier Invocation now only builds energy from enemy hits to energy shield rather than all hits to energy shield. Barrier Invocation now gains 1 energy for each 10 energy shield lost to damage taken, previously 5. Bleeding Concoction now has 200% more magnitude of bleeding inflicted, previously 100%. Blink is now a travel skill.
Holy, what are these buffs? I thought they wanted to nerf. What are these buffs? It's not even bad. You guys said it was a 10 on the nerf scale. All there is buffs. Buffs.
Bone Blast now has a 40% chance to inflict bleeding on hit, previously 20%. Bone Storm Shrapnel has become a general mechanic called Impale, similar to the Impale mechanic from Path of Exile 1. Hits that impale an enemy cause the next attack hit against that enemy to gain added physical damage equal to 30% of the physical damage dealt by the impaling hit. Bone Storm now impales on hit instead of applying a specialized debuff, and has 200% more impale magnitude. Cast on Minion Death now only gains energy when persistent minions are killed. Additionally, minions that are created by a very underleveled minion skill, relative to the current area level, now grant less energy when killed. Level 20 plus minion skills will incur no penalty in endgame content.
Bone Storm Shrapnel has become a general mechanic? Wait, is this why Jung was done? Wait, this proves it all. Jung is in touch with the developer who feeds them inside information. And that's why he tests all of these skills. Oh my God. For snitching, that guy gets insider information for snitching on the rest of our builds. He gets buffed, everybody else gets nerfed. Oh man. Cast on minion death now only gains energy when persistent minions are killed. Additionally, minions are created by under-leveled minion skills relative to the current area level now grants less energy when killed. Level 20 plus minion skills will incur no penalty in endgame content. Okay, so SRS, cast on minion death, goodbye. Is that what it is? Cast on shock now gains 1 energy per power of enemies you shock with hits from skills previously. Really? Did this really need it? Really need it? Cluster grenades, mini grenade explosions now have a radius of 1.4 meters. Previously, Really, guys? Really? Grenades are like the worst thing in the game. It's complete dog shit. And now Combat Frenzy now gains a frenzy charge when you freeze, electrocute, and pin an enemy. No more than once per 5.3 seconds? To 4.1 seconds at gem level 20, previously 2.4 to 1.58. Bro, like, doesn't this just spiral volley and snipe and everything just dead because of this? I feel like everything is just dead. That shit is fucking goners, dude. What are we doing? We're doing concoctions now requires an unarmed weapon set. Wait, concoction skills now require an unarmed weapon set. They no longer deal your base unarmed damage instead of dealing only attack damage specified from the skill, like marks. What? They no longer deal your base unarmed damage, instead dealing only... Oh, so they won't allow you to use a weapon with any of the concoctions, right? So, no. Like, it's saying like when you remove your weapon, you get more unarmed damage and you're no longer allowed to use bows or like a spear or anything. You only get the flat value from the gem. No, that's not what it's saying. That's not what it's saying. It says they no longer deal your base unarmed damage. So it's just removing the unarmed part from it. Or the unarmed freaking, you can still use the clusters. They consider it unarmed, right? Holy shit. Yo, concoctions are a fucking ass. Right, why isn't this working?
Conductivity now causes cursed enemies to have minus 25% to lightning resistance at gem level 7, previously minus 32%, scaling up to minus 29% at gem level 20, previously minus 36%.
Was this necessary? Guys, was this necessary? Like, no one even wanted to press this button.
Cold Snap now has an explosion radius of 1.6 meters, previously 0.7 meters.
That's good.
Curse skills now apply their curse after a 1.5 second delay, previously 1 second. Dark effigy projectiles now have a critical hit chance of 7%, previously 11%, and an impact radius of 1.2 meters, previously 0.8 meters. Quality is now 0 to 20% chance to inflict wither for 2 seconds on hit, previously 0 to 50%. Decompose, the skill granted by the Corpse Wade unique boots, now causes the poison cloud to poison enemies as though dealing chaos damage equal up to 10 to 19.5% of Corpse's maximum life at gem levels 1 to 20, previously 30 to 39.5%.
This is still pretty good. Oh, you knew that was coming. This is kind of crazy. I feel like if you don't like make casting curses good, then people will just never use them. I don't know why Dark Effigy got nerfed. That's fucking weird.
Despair now causes cursed enemies to have minus 20% to chaos resistance at gem level 9, previously minus 32%, scaling up to minus 24% at gem level 20, previously minus 36%.
That's crazy.
Detonate Dead now deals physical damage equal to 8.8 to 10.7% of Corpse's maximum life at gem levels 7 to 20, previously 20% at all gem levels, scaling further past gem level 20. It also now deals 41 to 61 fire damage at gem level 7, previously 28 to 43, scaling up to 139 to 208 fire damage at gem level 20, previously 169 to 254.
All their bosses
Detonating Arrow's explosion radius is now 2.4 meters, previously 1.8. Direct Minions now has a 0.5 second cooldown.
All their bosses, they nerfed other things? Okay, alright. Detonating Arrow's explosion radius is now 2.4 meter. Guys, come on, guys. If you're gonna review the skill at least like do something meaningful to it. Like, come on, man. Look at poor Cluster. Like, Cluster Grenade is like the worst skill I've ever played in any video game. Not just in Path of Exile 2, in any game. That shit is trash. And like, you can't play that skill and be like, oh man, let's give it like 0.3 or 0.3 radius on the fucking small grenades. And oh, come on, man. Like, come on, man. That shit is caca, man.
Direct Minions now has a 0.5 second cooldown. Elemental Invocation now gains 10 energy per power of enemies you freeze with hits from skills, previously 10, 2 energy per power of enemies you ignite with hits from skills, modified by the percentage of the enemy's ailment threshold the ignite will deal, previously 3. It also now gains 1 energy per power of enemies you shock with hits from skills, previously 3. Escape Shot now scales freeze build-up with gem level, up to 585% more at gem level 20, previously 300% at all levels. Quality is now 0 to 120% more freeze build-up, previously 0 to 80%.
I feel like this is Jonathan's last-ditch effort to be like, oh yeah, we made great gems that are useful, and we're gonna be like, nah, I ain't jumping fucking backwards to shoot an arrow that takes like fucking 2 seconds. Like, nah, they ain't doing it, dude. Ain't doing it. Woo, no way. That's not me.
Explosive Concoction now has 200% more magnitude of ignite inflicted, previously 100%. Explosive Grenade cooldown is now 7 seconds, previously 3 seconds. Now has an explosion radius of 2 to 2.4 meters at gem levels 1 to 20, previously 1.8 to 2.4. Now has a detonation time of 3 seconds, previously 2.5 seconds. Eye of Winter now gains 75%.
Explosive Grenade has a cooldown of 7 seconds? What the fuck? Bro, how do you guys nerf grenades? How the fuck did grenade, like, what do you want us to do? Like, freaking, like, press my explosive grenade, jerk off, and then come back and fire the second one? Like, 7 seconds, I can bust a nut, bro. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy talk, man.
Eye of Winter now gains 75% of damage as damage of the corresponding type when passing over an elemental ground effect, previously 50%. The skill also no longer incorrectly states the projectile applies the passed over ground effect to nearby enemies.
They didn't nerf the critical weakness? You didn't nerf the motherfucking critical weakness to Eye of Winter, you never explosive grenade! What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Do you guys are playing the game? Fucking so... I'm really worried about the future of this game. This is the first time I've been worried about the future of Path of Exile 2. I'm worried right now. Bro, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Who the fuck did this?
Falling Thunder projectiles now have 50% more damage per power charge consumed, previously 25%. Fireball no longer bypasses the Raging Spirit limit. The secondary Fireball projectiles are no longer affected by additional projectiles. This was mostly to prevent performance issues when used with Wild Shard support. Firebolt now has a maximum downward tilt angle against closer targets, making it harder to hit enemies with multiple explosions.
Firestorm's improved bolts now have a critical hit chance of... You nerfed Firestorm? I'm leaving. I can't take this. I can't take this. I like my whole body. You know, like when you like, I don't know, you remember like, you know, when you get pregnant and you just like your whole body just feels bad? Like that's what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm pregnant. I just feel really bad. Like what is this? You're really gonna nerf a skill with 0.1% play rate? Like
Flame Blast now has a 15-second cooldown, previously none, and now has 75% more damage per stage, previously 200%. It now has an explosion radius of 0.6 meters per stage, previously 0.4, and quality now provides 0 to 20% more cast speed, previously 0 to 10%.
Bro, do you not understand that grenades and fire spells are some of the worst things ever designed in any video game? They're like absolute, and fucking chaos staff skills. They are the worst like things you can ever play. They don't do fucking damage. They're fucking trash. And they have the worst ailment available to them, which is ignite. And it does absolutely nothing for your build. Do they not understand these things? Like they are the absolute worst. That is crazy. 15-second cool.
Flame Wall now causes projectiles which pass through the wall to deal 33 to 48 added fire damage at gem level 20, previously 64 to 91, while the gem level 1 values are unchanged. More significant reductions have been made past gem level 20.
I mean, they should have, like, they needed to work Flame Wall, because even at 48 damage, like, if level 30 is these values, all the Spectres are still gonna one-shot all their bosses, right? They needed Flame Wall to be like increased damage or something, or like as extra. This is bad. Bye bye bosses. Say hello to Spectres. They didn't even nerf this correctly. It's over for them. There's Spectres that shoot like fucking like 600 projectiles at once, dude. Or like, you know, 6 of them. They shoot like 100 projectiles each. So yeah, your shit is gonna die like instantly. Next league. Yeah, Earn Dude is about to pop off.
Flammability now causes cursed enemies to have minus 25% to fire resistance at gem level 7, previously minus 32%, scaling up to minus 29% at gem level 20, previously minus 36%. Flash Grenade now has 500% more stun buildup, previously 400%. Fragmentation Round's base explosion radius is now 1.8 meters at all gem levels, previously 1.4 to 1.6 at gem levels 1 to 20. Freezing Shards now fires 5 projectiles, previously 7, and now has 100% more freeze buildup, previously 50%.
Freezing Salvo now scales freeze buildup with gem level up to 107% more. Wait, they buffed the Freezing Salvo? Wait, am I thinking of the wrong skill? Oh, Freeze got a 48% nerf. Okay. Frostbomb now has a pulse and explosion radius of 2 to 2.7 meters. Wait, they buffed Frostbomb? Wait, it was already one of the best Holy, it's fucking over, dude. Or it is over. It is actually over. There were like, I don't know. I think these are PoE 3 patch notes, because these aren't PoE 2 patch notes. There is no way you guys went around nerfing Explosive Grenade and buffed Frostbomb. Who the fuck did this? I mean, I don't even mind nerfs. I really don't mind nerfs. Can you guys at least nerf the right skills? Because this is atrocious. Y'all done fucked up like really bad on some of this shit.
Frozen Locust Explosion now deals 6 to 9 base quarterstaff cold damage at gem level 1, unchanged, scaling up to 141 to 212 at gem level 20, previously 89 to 134. The damage past gem level 20 has also been adjusted. Explosion radius is now 2.4 meters, previously 2. Fulminating Concoction now has 200% more chance to shock, previously 100%. Galvanic Shards now converts 60% of physical damage to lightning damage, previously 40%.
Wait, that's a buff.
Gas Arrow, Gas Grenades and Decompose now have a limit of 6 poison clouds.
Wow.
Glacial Bolt Walls now last 8 seconds, previously 6.
Oh, that's fucked. Grenades got nerfed again? I need a break. Guys, this might be some of the worst balance I've read in a long time. Like Arrow, I can understand. Grenades is on a fucking CD, bro. Like, who cares? Like Arrow, I can definitely understand, because you can spam Arrow, right? But like, really? Like, you guys nerfed 3... I can't do this, dude. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. Grim Feast can no longer be engraved in the gem cutting menu. Grim Feast can no longer be engraved in the gem. They didn't even bother. They just deleted it. They didn't even bother. They just deleted the gem. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a good one.
Hammer of the Gods no longer has a cooldown, but now requires 20 glory to use. Glory is a resource that gets built up by heavy stunning enemies. The amount of glory gained is based on the stunned monster's power. Quality is now plus 0 to 0.4 to impact radius, previously 1% increased cooldown recovery rate.
What the fuck? I have to heavily stun a pinnacle before I can hammer him? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. I can't wait until oh man, dude. I'm gonna tune it, guys. I am now officially Quinn69's biggest fan. I need to watch him play. I need to watch him play PoE 2 next league. Every day. I'm gonna be in Quinn stream every day. This is gonna be so much content for me, bro. I could just see his face after he like does a little bleed cut build, and he's like for like 3 minutes, and finally he heavily stuns the mob, and then he casts his hammer and the mob moves out of the way. Oh my god, it's gonna be the best. It's going to be the best. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna be so happy when that happens, dude.
Hand of Chayla now specifies that it triggers socketed marks. This is purely a description change. Herald skills with attack hits now properly state their hits cannot be evaded. This is not a functional change, just a descriptive one. Herald of Ash's explosion radius is now 1.2 meters, previously 1.
That's a buff. That's a buff. That is a buff. Here we go, Herald.
Herald of Ash quality now provides an additional plus 0 to 5% of overkill damage contributes to base ignite damage, instead of the previous, ignite surrounding enemies if overkill damage is at least 0 to 2% of enemy's maximum life, benefit that was actively detrimental. Herald of Ice's explosion radius is now 1.6 meters, previously 1.8. Herald of Plague now requires a martial weapon, making it consistent with the weapon restrictions of the other Herald skills. Herald of Thunder's bolt impact radius is now 1.4 meters, previously 1.6.
That's all they did to Heralds? Wait, what?
Hex Blast can now only detonate curses for which at least 50% of the duration has expired. This means it can never explode curses that have an infinite duration. Curse orbs will be visually different when 50% of the curse duration has expired if you have Hex Blast equipped. The explosion radius of Hex Blast has been increased to 2 meters, previously 1.6 meters, and it now has a maximum of 3 explosions per cast, previously 9. Hex Blast's damage has been lowered by roughly 17% at all gem levels. The explosion radius has also been reduced to 1.2 meters, previously 1.6. Hypothermia now causes cursed enemies to have minus 25% to cold resistance at gem level 7, previously minus 32%, scaling up to minus 29% at gem level 20, previously minus 36%. Ice crystals created by Glacial Bolt and Frost Wall now have lowered life scaling past gem level 20. Their scaling up until this point is unchanged.
Wait, like, I feel like we're reading all of these things and we're just getting baited. Because I feel like if they did this to Hex Blast, that means they reduce all the attack skills by like fucking like 2/3 or more than half. Because there's no way you're gonna nerf Explosive Grenade and not freaking like just gut everything, right? And they won't even tell us the numbers. I think this is gonna be horrible, bro. Guys, I'm scared. Are you guys scared? I feel like I'm scared.
Ice Shard's explosion radius is now 1.4 meters, previously 1.2 meters, has a maximum of 16 active shards, previously 12, and now has 16 bolts loaded per clip, previously 12. Shards that have existed for at least 0.5 seconds, previously 1 second, now deal 700% more damage, previously 900%. If you have multiple travel skills with cooldowns, their cooldowns are now shared. Improved Ball Lightning's description to clarify that the ball itself does not hit enemies.
Ooh, you're so popular.
Improved Skeletal Cleric behavior to reduce cases where they would run at enemies and attempt to attack them. Incinerate now has 25% less ignite duration, previously 50%.
Wow. Incinerate got buffed, guys. Fucking Incinerate. That's cool. I'm just standing there and channel some more. Leaf Slam now has a 62 to 88% more stun buildup at gem level 7 to 20. Previously 26 of the Leaf Slam buff? Leaf Slam buff? Holy. Huge, 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 huge.
Lightning Conduit now performs a number of extra lightning bolts if it consumes shock from an enemy. These bolts are distributed among targets in the skills area, but can hit the same target multiple times if few enough targets were hit. Lightning Bolt now has 200% more chance to shock, previously 100%.
Lightning Conduit now has 20% more damage with hits per 5 shock effect on enemy, previously 100? Oh shit, this shit got like triple tapped. Stormweaver shock got tapped. Now this got tapped. Okay, so they're only gonna do like 30 million instead of like 2 billion now. Okay, cool. All right, like
Lightning Rod Arrow now disappears after being chained to 6 times at all gem levels, previously 8 to 14 times at gem levels 1 to 20.
That's correct.
Arrows now take 1 second to charge up before releasing a lightning burst when chained to. Lightning arrows that chain to Lightning Rod arrows cause the pulse to happen instantly instead of needing to charge up.
Wait. Arrows now take 1 second to charge up before releasing lightning burst when chained to. Lightning arrows? Oh, so there's a delay? And lightning arrows that chain to lightning rod? Wait, lightning arrows that chain to lightning rod arrows causes the pulse? Oh, so you just want lightning, so there's no delay if you use lightning arrows. Wait, this is still like insane. Like lightning rod losing like a third of his like freaking damage doesn't do shit. Oh, I didn't. Wait, is that later? Don't okay, whatever. We'll keep.
Lightning Walk no longer creates shock ground if targeting a ball lightning projectile. Magma Spray, from the Magma Barrier skill, now deals 6 to 10 to 151 to 226 base fire damage at gem levels 1 to 20, previously 4 to 7 to 234 to 351. It now has 6 to 8 added fire damage per 15 armor on shield at all levels, previously 2 to 4 at gem level 1 and 3 to 6 at gem level 20. It now has a damage effectiveness of 130 to 405%, previously 120 to 490%.
Alright, that's kind of like, that's kind of expected. Pretty big magma barrier or magma spray nerfs.
Magnetic Salvo now deals 100 to 140% of attack damage with impact at gem levels 13 to 20, previously 89 to 125%, and 155 to 218% of attack damage with explosion at gem levels 13 to 20, previously 177 to 250%. It now fires up to 8 missiles at all gem levels, previously 14 to 17 at gem levels 13 to 20. Quality now provides plus 0.4 missiles, instead of 0 to 20% more projectile damage.
Yo, Salvo got fucking gutted too. But, like, it's not even that big of a change, I feel like. Because you just put less stuff on the ground, right? To blow up. I think Salvo's still okay. It doesn't even look that bad. That skill is kind of OP still.
Mana Tempest's quality now grants additional damage gained as lightning, instead of causing its effects to linger after you exited the Tempest, which did not actually function. Mantra of Destruction's Purple Flames of Chayla now has a duration of 8 seconds, previously 6. Malice now applies critical weakness every 0.52 seconds at level 19, previously 0.64 seconds. Molten Blast now has, while dual wielding, fires twice as many projectiles with 15% less attack speed, previously 30%. Pain Offering's Aura now grants minions 28 to 58% increased damage at gem levels 5 to 20, rather than 29 to 44% more damage. The Aura also now grants minions 22 to 58% increased attack and cast speed at gem levels 5 to 20, previously 30% at all levels.
Wait, they went from 58% increase from 44% more? But they gave it 58% increased attack speed? Wait, is this not even a nerf? Is this even a nerf? I don't even think this is a nerf.
Perfect Strike no longer always ignites,
speed.
And now has an attack speed of 35% at base, previously 45%. Quality now provides 0 to 20% more ignite chance, previously 0 to 20% increased magnitude of ignite you inflict. Perfect Strike also now deals damage in a wide area close to the player, making it less likely to miss enemies standing next to the player. Permafrost Bolts now scales freeze build-up with gem level, up to 186% more at gem level 20, previously 80% at all levels. Plague Bearer now stores up to 197-15257 poison damage at gem levels 4 to 20, previously 158-14989. The damage past gem level 20 has also been reduced. Poisonous Concoction now has 200% more magnitude of poison inflicted, previously 100%. Now deals base physical damage instead of chaos damage.
Oh, that's ass. That's ass. Oh, man. They removed, like, a big portion of your Poisonous Concoction damage was hit damage. And you got Wither from it. It doesn't matter if you can use Slothas. You lost, like, Wither is fucking insane. What? It's, like, more than double damage. This skill got fucking gutted. Yeah, now, like, armor also affects the damage, too, of the hit. Oh, man. Pecan got freaking molested, dude.
Profane Ritual now has a ritual radius of 2.2 meters, previously 1.8 meters. Raging Spirits now has a spirit duration of 5 seconds, previously 4, and a maximum 2 spirits summoned per spell cast, previously 5. The description of Raging Spirits has also been updated to make more clear that triggered spells will not summon spirits. Improved the performance of spawning very high amounts of Raging Spirits. If you spawn a large number of spirits at the same time, the spawning of them is now spread out over a short duration.
Holy, like, there's so many SRS like things that happen. I'm gonna be honest, I only use SRS in minion builds. Rain of Arrows landing frequency is now affected by projectile speed modifiers, meaning that, for example, increased projectile speed causes the same number of arrows to land in a shorter total time. Okay, that's cool.
Reaper's Invocation now gains 15 energy per power of enemies you kill with melee attacks, previously 10. Ripwire Ballista Bolts now pins enemies as though dealing 400% more damage, previously 250%.
Fuck yeah, dude. Can't wait until I use my Ripwire Ballista build to destroy the game.
Rolling Slam now has plus 1 second to total attack time, previously plus
shit.
1.5 seconds, and the mana cost has been adjusted accordingly.
Rolling
Sacrifice
Slam?
now has minions revive 66% more slowly at gem level 14, previously 37%, scaling to 60% more slowly at gem level 20, previously 31% more slowly.
Does this matter?
Seismic Cry no longer has increased Warcry speed.
Does that matter? I think they're just gonna one-shot the boss with DD anyways. I don't think that matters.
Shard Scavenger now instantly reloads your crossbow upon consuming freeze, shock, ignite, or fully broken armor, no more than once every 7.3 to 6.1 seconds at gem levels 8 to 20, previously 9.3 8.2. Shattering Concoction now has 200% more freeze buildup, previously 100%. Shattering Palm Explosions now have an additional random delay. The shards of ice now cannot be applied to targets if the Shattering Palm damaging strike broke an existing ice shard on them. Shield Wall Segment life past gem level 20 now matches that of ice crystals, from Frost Wall for example. This is a reduction in total life. Explosion radius is now 4 meters, previously 3.
Shock chain arrows now chain up to 8 meters away, previously 4. Siphoning strikes shockwave radius is now 2 meters, previously 1 point. Wait, why did they make Shattering Palms? Dude, this skill was already. Remember like last league when we were trying to like play that Shattering Palm build and it felt so bad because of that random shit? Now it's even worse? Oh man, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, dude. You would just like blink on top of dudes and you just do no damage to them.
Skeletal Arsonist's Explosive Demise skill deals additional fire damage equal to 12% of minions' maximum life, previously 15%, and now has 2.4 meters explosion radius, previously 2 meters. Skeletal Brute quality now causes brutes to inflict more stun buildup instead of having increased maximum life. Skeletal Frost Mage's Ice Bomb now has an 8-second cooldown, previously 6. Skeletal Reavers now correctly gain rage on hit while their command Enrage skill is active.
Okay, wait, where am I at? Where am I at? I need to refresh. Okay, I'm on Skeletal Reavers. Okay, wait, it refreshed. Okay, where are we at? Skeletal Reavers? Okay, Skeletal Storm Mages now? Freaking minions?
Skeletal Storm Mage chain count now scales up with minion gem level, up to +4 chains at gem level 20, previously +2 at all levels. Skeletal Warrior can no longer be engraved in the gem cutting menu, as it was only provided as a stopgap until this functionality was implemented. Existing copies of the Skeletal Warrior skill gem have been turned into Skeletal Sniper gems. The Skeletal Warrior skill granted by some scepters now allows you to summon additional skeletons by reserving spirit, in addition to the 2 free skeletons it grants automatically. Snipe's attack speed multiplier and mana cost has been adjusted so that the attack time matches the time until a perfect strike. This is mainly to improve descriptions and the function of the skill is unchanged. Storm Wave now has 100% more chance to shock. So
minions have been slightly nerfed, like in every single way. This is for DD, right? So Frost Mages got, does this even matter? I don't even think this matters. Minions are basically untouched.
Soul Offering now grants 56 to 77% increased spell damage at gem levels 13 to 20, rather than 32 to 39% more spell damage. Spark now fires 4 to 9 projectiles at gem levels 1 to 20, previously 6 to 14, and no longer has 0 to 19% increased projectile speed. Quality now provides 0 to 30% increased projectile speed, previously fires +0 projectiles. Spiral Volley now has 30% more damage per frenzy charge consumed, previously 20%. Sunder now has +1 second to total attack time, previously +1.4 seconds, and the mana cost has been adjusted accordingly. Stampede quality now provides 0 to 20% chance to cause an aftershock, previously 0 to 30%. Stormblast bolts no longer have 30% less reload speed.
What? Oh. Stormcaller arrow bolts now have 50% more chance to shock, previously 800. Tempest, oh, okay, Tempest spell. Here we go. Here, guys, Tempest spell. Tempest spell, here we go. There's 4 sections for Tempest spell. Let's go.
Tempest Spell's impact now deals 146 to 490% of attack damage at gem levels 3 to 20, previously 145 to 316%. Now requires 10 combo to use, previously 4, and the bell is destroyed after 10 hits at all gem levels, previously 10 to 19 at gem levels 3 to 20. Quality now causes the bell to be destroyed after +0 hits, previously +0 6. Tempest Bell's Shockwave no longer has, deals 30% more damage per elemental ailment afflicting the bell, or 60% of physical damage converted to the corresponding damage type of each elemental ailment afflicting the bell. Instead, it now has, gains 30% of physical damage as extra damage of each type matching an elemental ailment on the bell. It also now deals 60 to 132% of attack damage at gem levels 3 to 20, previously 96 to 211%. Tempest Bell can now only trigger a shockwave every 250 milliseconds. This value is a strict limit, not a cooldown, as such it cannot be modified by cooldown recovery modifiers. Tempest Bell's limit on number of bells placed is now shared between different copies of the skill.
Oh my god, requires 10 combo? Shit.
Rue, you're so popular.
The on-kill effects of Herald skills can no longer trigger from kills caused by Herald skills. Tornado Shot splitting effect now also applies to thrown spears. Toxic Growth now requires more stored poison to reach maximum radius and damage, and more stored poison to expire faster. Pustule duration time is now 15 seconds, previously 6. Stored poison now adds up to +1.5 meters to base explosion radius, previously +1. Now fires 6 arrows, previously 8, and quality now provides fires plus 2 arrows and plus 2 pustules, previously plus 3 projectiles. Now has a limit of 6 pustules. Unearth's bone construct duration is now 15 seconds, previously 12 seconds. Quality now provides plus 0 to 5 seconds to bone construct duration, previously plus 4.
Wait, they nerfed toxic growth? Toxic growth now requires more stored poison to reach maximum radius and damage, and more stored poison damage to expire faster, and it now has a... Okay, I don't know why this is nerfed. It has a limit now. That's crazy. Wait, this skill sucked. We couldn't even, like, play the skill properly last league because it's sucked that bad. I don't know about this, boys. I don't know about this.
Vaulting Impact now has 54 to 88% more stun build up at gem levels 3 to 20, previously 30% at all gem levels. Vine Arrow now has a limit of 1 plant, but can be increased to 2 with the overabundance support. The Vine now has a plant duration of 8 seconds, previously 6 seconds.
You could have just done that last league instead of nerfing my build. Could have just done this. Dude, Vine Arrow is like the saddest skill in Path of Exile 2, bro. Vine Arrow has been nerfed so many times. Oh, it's like, this skill is sad, bro.
Volcanic Fissure now has a limit of 8 concurrent fissures on the ground, and the aftershocks no longer erupt other fissures. Voltaic Grenade cooldown is now 6 seconds, previously 3 seconds. Now has an explosion radius of 2 to 2.4 meters at gem levels 1 to 20, previously 1.8 to 2.4. Now has a detonation time of 2.5 seconds, previously 1.2 seconds. Wave of Frost now has 390 to 585% more freeze build-up at gem levels 7 to 20, previously 275% at all gem levels.
I refuse to continue. I fucking refuse to continue. I'm not reading any more of these patch notes. I'm livid. Why don't you just remove grenades from the game? No one plays that shit anyways. They're so fucking bad. Just take them out. Remove them. Replace the thing with something that matters.
Wind Dancer now grants 10% more evasion rating per stage at all gem levels, previously 15 to 19% at gem levels 4 to 20, and gains a stage every 1.44 to 1.12 seconds at gem levels 4 to 20, previously 1.5 to 1.3 seconds. Gale Force now deals 53 to 163% of attack damage at gem levels 4 to 20, previously 40 to 125%, and now uses the critical hit chance of your main hand weapon instead of having a baseline 5% critical hit chance. Wind Dancer stages are now consumed on being hit by an enemy, instead of from a melee attack. Wind Dancer's stage gain timer is no longer interrupted when you're hit. Quality now provides plus 0 to 0.4 meters to explosion radius, previously plus 1 to maximum stages.
That's kind of insane. Wait, Wind Dancer got a buff? I mean, the evasion part got nerfed, but the damage part got nerfed. Who cares about evasion, bro? You lost so much, dude. Dude, bro, you went from getting 76% more evasion to 40% or 30%? That's terrible. That's actually terrible. 76 to 30? That's ass. That's ass. Can't believe defenses got nerfed.
Withering Presence with a duration is 6 seconds, previously 4 seconds, and now withers enemies in your presence every 1.74 to 1.42 seconds at gem levels 4 to 20, previously 2.78 to 1.58. Skills with expanding ground effects were unintentionally scaling radius over time instead of area of effect. They still scale the radius, though we have updated the descriptions and lowered the values on many of the affected skills.
Oh no, not another one!
The Poison Cloud on Gas Arrow, Gas Grenade and Decompose now gain 20% more radius per second, up to a maximum of 80%, all previously 50%, up to a maximum of 200%. The Poison Cloud from Skeletal Sniper now gains 20% more radius per second, up to a maximum of 80%, previously 40%, up to a maximum of 200%.
I feel so bad for Gas Grenade. I really feel so bad for that skill too.
The Chilled Ground from Frozen Locust now gains 30% more radius per second, up to a maximum of 150%, from 40%, up to a maximum of 240%. The Discipline and Purity auras granted by some scepters now apply to the player wielding the scepter as well as their allies.
Woo.
The spread of grenade skills with more than one projectile, such as when using the scattershot support, has been reduced by 40% except for cluster grenade.
Wait, that's kind of good. Wait, that's kind of good and kind of bad. It's bad for clearing, better for single target. But they said they just made grenades go further. So did they reduce the spread outwards and increase the spread of length? Is that what they did? I think that's what they did. They made random distances from going towards, and they reduced the distances of going wide. So instead of having big dick, you're like just thin dick that goes longer now. Okay, I get it. Okay, cool. Why didn't they just do both of these lines together, like, so people don't get confused?
Releasing Ray's shield immediately after blocking a skill now performs a shield bash that damages and stuns enemies in front of you, and also dazzles them if you're using a tower shield. Added a new gem tag, conditional. This type denotes a skill which cannot be used unless a given condition is met. Combo is one example of this. Modifiers adding or subtracting a value to the cost of a skill now apply before cost multipliers from supports. Modifiers adding or subtracting a value to the total cost of a skill are unchanged. These still apply after all other modifiers.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. Like, that wasn't so bad, but many skills have had their base damage or damage growth per level rebalance. Most of these changes are not specifically mentioned below as the changes were too widespread. They nerfed so many skills, they're ashamed to type them out? That's sad, bro. Guys, I mean, we've had PoE 1 leagues where they nerfed every single skill, or there were huge nerf leagues and they typed everyone out. This one is even worse. I don't even think they even want you to see the numbers because you might not log in. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they don't even want you to see the numbers. Oh no. It's fine. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. A lot of these were correct. They were closely, they needed to be like fixed. But man, like a grenade, like poor grenades, dude. Wait, support changes? They nerf supports?
Support changes. Astral projection now causes supported skills to have 25% less area of effect, previously 35%. Brutality now causes supported skills to deal 25% more physical damage, previously 35%. Burning Inscription now has a 110% cost multiplier, previously 100%. Cannibalism now provides 2% of life recovered on kill while a supported skill is active, previously 4%. Capacitor now has a 130% cost multiplier, previously 100%. Close Combat now has a 120% cost multiplier, previously 140%. Considered Casting now has a 115% cost multiplier, previously 100%. Controlled Destruction and Extraction supports now correctly are not socketable into skills which had secondary damaging hits, but no spell damage hits. These supports were never scaling damage of these skills, and were just incorrectly socketable. Crescendo now has a 120% cost multiplier, previously 100%.
Holy. Bro, these guys went ham, dude.
Culmination now causes supported skills to deal 3% more damage per combo, previously 2%, and now lose combo if you generate no combo for 4 seconds, previously 3. Exploit Weakness now causes supported skills to consume enemy fully broken armor to deal 40% more damage, previously 50%. Feeding Frenzy and Meat Shield can no longer support minions which are undamageable. Fist of War now has a cost multiplier of 150%, previously 140%. Hourglass now causes supported skills to deal 30% more damage, previously 40%. Impact Shockwave now causes supported skills to cause an aftershock when they heavy stun an enemy, dealing the same damage to enemies within 1.8 meters, previously 2.0.
So, all the skills got nerfed? And all the supports got nerfed?
Impetus now has a 115% cost multiplier, previously 100%. Lockdown now has a cost multiplier of 100%, previously 120%. Magnified Effect now has a 130% cost multiplier, previously 120%, and causes supported skills to have 30% more area of effect, previously 40%. Mana Flare now has a flare radius of 2 meters, previously 1.6, and now consumes 25% of current mana to deal that much fire damage, previously 20%. Meat Shield support now grants minions from supported skills take 35% less damage, instead of granting them 50% more maximum life.
Oh shit.
Mobility support now has 25% less movement speed penalty while using supported skills, previously 30%.
They nerfed mobility? You guys nerfed mobility. Really? Holy.
Neural Overload now has a cost multiplier of 100%, previously 120%. Overcharge support no longer causes supported skills to have less shock duration. It now has shocks caused by supported skills are reflected back to you.
What?
Potential now causes supported skills to have 40% more chance to critically hit when consuming power charges, previously 30%. Scattershot support now has supported skills deal 35% less damage, previously 20%.
What? Grenades got nerfed again? Another grenade nerf? I can't continue. My heart's broken. Heart's broken. I think this patch is gonna make me like go out and get married. That's how depressed I am. I think I'd rather go find love than farm currency now. I'm in that sort of like world now. It's like over for me, guys. Did you just say you won't find? I just told you I'm depressed, and the first thing you type in chat is "Don't worry, you won't find one." Really, bro? Like, really, dude? Hope the next girl you find scatter shots all over your face when she whips one out.
Shock Siphon can no longer be engraved in the gem cutting menu. Existing copies of this support will still function.
What?
Spell Echo support can no longer support triggered skills. Spiral Volley now fires directly forward with the first arrow instead of the final arrow. Strip Away now causes exposure applied by supported skills to have 20% increased effect, previously 30%.
They nerfed Stripped Away? Bro, exposure is like 16. You're gonna really nerf you're gonna nerf like 2 resistance, dude? Like really? 2 fucking resistance? Oh my god, this is, oh man, this is, I don't even know what to do.
Unbreakable now has different stun threshold multiplier values for incoming light stuns as opposed to incoming heavy stuns. Window of Opportunity now causes supported skills to deal 35% more damage when released with perfect timing, previously 50%. And have a 35% shorter perfect timing window, previously 25%. Withering Touch now has a chance to apply it based on the amount of chaos damage dealt by the hit, from always applying a single stack, and allows that chance to roll over beyond 100% to potentially apply multiple stacks with large hits.
It's fucking over for chaos in this game. It is over. All the chaos skills lost so much damage. It is over. No, Chaos got nerfed, bro. If you can't Winter, like, Wither, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Withering Presence? Bro, they got fucking deleted. It is over. Poison? Caca. Chaos? Caca. Oh my god, bro. Bro, Chaos damage has no penetration, basically. It's completely relying on Despair, which they nerfed, Withered, which they nerfed, and like Peacock is completely gutted because it does fucking physical damage now. There's no other, like, Gas Arrow can only have 6 gas arrows. Like, bro, like, this is, tell you, bro, who the fuck is gonna play Chaos damage now? It is all garbage. It's trash. All right, let's see what's happened here.
The Against the Darkness unique jewel now has a medium radius, previously large. This change does not affect existing items. Modifiers that cause notable passive skills in radius to also grant 2 to 4% increased specific attributes now have values of 2 to 3%. Existing items can be made worse with a Divine Orb. The Against the Darkness unique jewel no longer causes small passive skills in radius to also grant 1% increased maximum life or 1% increased maximum mana. Instead, they can now cause small passives in radius to also grant +8 to maximum life or +8 to maximum mana. Existing versions of this item are unaffected by this change. The Astromentis unique amulet now has +50, 100 to all attributes, previously +80, 100. Existing versions of this unique can be made worse with a Divine Orb. The Atziri's Disdain unique helmet now has 10% of damage taken bypasses energy shield, previously 20 to 25%, and +60, 100 to maximum mana, previously +40, 60. It also now has gain 10 to 15% of maximum life as extra maximum energy shield, previously 25 to 30%. Existing versions of this item can be updated to the new values with a Divine Orb. The Choir of the Storm unique amulet once again triggers Lightning Bolt, previously Greater Lightning Bolt. The Crown of the Victor unique helmet now grants 10 to 15% increased rarity of items found, previously 10 to 20%. The Dream Fragments unique ring now provides 10% increased maximum mana, previously 20%. A Divine Orb can be used on existing versions of this item to obtain the new value.
They nerfed Crown of the Victor? Holy, nobody's safe, bro. Nobody is safe. Crown of the Victor?
The Everlasting Gaze unique amulet now causes you to gain 4 to 6% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield, previously 20 to 30%, provides 40 to 60% increased mana regeneration rate, previously 50%, and +40, 60 to maximum mana, previously +50. Existing versions of this unique can be updated to the new values using a Divine Orb. The Eye of Chayla unique amulet no longer provides +2500 to stun threshold, it now provides cannot be light stunned. The Fireflower unique amulet now grants 10 to 15% increased rarity of items found, previously 10 to 20%. The Ghost Writhe unique body armor now provides 25% of maximum life converted to energy shield, previously 50%. Existing versions of this unique can be updated with a Divine Orb.
The Hand of Wisdom and Action unique gloves now add 1 to 10 lightning damage to attacks per 20 intelligence, previously 10 intelligence, and now grants 1% attack speed per 20 dexterity, previously 3 per 25. It's still pretty good. It's still pretty decent. Like, it's not that bad. It's too bad all the other attribute stuff got nerfed. But I mean, like high-end, I feel like high-end attribute stackers are still gonna be good. I don't even think it's dead. It's not even dead, dude.
The Ingenuity unique belt no longer has 40 to 80% increased bonuses gained from equipped rings. Instead, it now has 20 to 30% increased bonuses gained from equipped left ring, and 20 to 30% increased bonuses gained from equipped right ring. It also now has +1-2 charm slots, minus 20 to 20% increased charm charges gained, and 10 to 10 reduced charm charges used. Existing versions of this item are unaffected by these changes.
Hey, remember the Reddit combo of let me slap my Ingenuity on my third ring? There goes your combo, brother. I don't think the left ring, I don't think the cock ring counts as left or right. So, just so you know.
The last flame unique relic now has damage taken cannot be absorbed. Absorption effects include guard, encased in jade, and sorcery ward. Existing items are unaffected by this change. The Mahupsal's Machination unique shield now has 100% increased effect of socketed soul cores, from 333 to 666%. Now has the additional property of everlasting sacrifice. The Melting Maelstrom unique flask no longer has the property of recover all mana when used. This change does not affect existing versions of the item. The Morior Invictus unique body armor now generates with 3 random modifiers, previously 2.
Wait, Morior Invictus got buffed? That's insane. That armor is insane. What? Wait, the following modifiers can no longer roll. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what's happening? No, no, what's happening?
The following random modifiers can no longer roll. 10% increased rarity of items found per socketed rune or soul core. 5% increased maximum life per socketed rune or soul core. 5% increased maximum mana per socketed rune or soul core. 5% increased all attributes per socketed rune or soul core. The following random modifiers have been adjusted. +610 to spirit per socketed rune or soul core, previously 10. 6 to 10% increased global defenses per socketed rune or soul core, previously 10. +5-7% to all elemental resistances per socketed rune or soul core, previously 10. Added 7 new random per socketed rune or soul core modifiers.
Wait, but they didn't tell us what it is? It's over. It is over.
The Oaksworn unique shield no longer provides +50 to spirit, and now provides 50% increased life regeneration rate. The Oaksworn unique shield no longer provides +50 to spirit, and now provides 50% increased life regeneration rate. The Pillar of the Caged God unique quarterstaff now provides 1% increased attack speed per 10 dexterity, and 1% increased area of effect per 10 intelligence, previously both 2% per respective attribute. It also now provides 10% increased weapon damage per 10 strength, previously 10% per 5 strength. The per attribute changes will affect existing items, while a divine orb can be used to obtain the remaining value changes. The Queen of the Forest unique body armor now grants 1% movement speed per 800 evasion rating, previously 500. Existing versions of this unique can be updated with a divine orb. This modifier also can no longer scale with modifier effect, such as from corruption. This change does not apply to existing versions of the item.
That's fucked. That item's pretty much just useless now. Cause like Wind Dancer also got freaking like gutted. I think it's pretty shit now. There's no way you want to use that, right?
The Sandstorm Visage unique helmet now causes enemies in your presence to gain critical weakness once per second for 15 seconds, previously 1 second. Existing items can be updated with a divine orb. The Temporalis unique body armor now causes skills to have -2 to -1 second to cooldown, previously -4 to -2. Existing versions of this item can be updated to the new values with a divine orb, but why would you? The Trench Timbre unique mace now grants +1-2 to level of all minion skills, previously +1-3. Existing items can be made worse with a divine orb. The Venter's Gamble unique ring grants -25 to 25% increased rarity of items found, previously -40 to 40%. Updated the description of the Gravebind unique gloves modifier to correctly state that the enemy must be in your presence, not the ally.
Guys, if they're nerfing like existing uniques this bad, are the new uniques, are they even going to be usable?
Updated the text of the Solicips unique helmet and the Gemling Legionnaire's gem-studded Ascendancy passive skill to reflect the fact that they stack with each other. This is not a functional change. Corrected the wording on the Black Scythe training, circular teachings and knightly tenets timeless dual keystones so they no longer incorrectly imply the alternate bonuses they grant are inherent bonuses of those attributes. The time lost dual modifier that grants notable passive skills increased magnitude of damaging ailments now grants 5 to 10%, previously 10 to 20%. Existing items can be rerolled using a divine orb. The time lost dual modifier that grants notable passive skills faster damage from ailments now grants 2 to 3%, previously 3 to 7%. Existing items can be rerolled using a divine orb. The time lost dual modifier that grants notable passive skills increased energy generation now grants 4 to 12%, previously 5 to 15%. Existing items can be rerolled using a divine orb. The time lost dual modifier that grants notable passive skills Warcry buff effect can no longer be obtained.
Thoughts on the patch? I'm not done yet. I can tell you some of the highlights. So the best part about this thing was when Quiver effect got nerfed. I really like that. The lightning rod nerf to 6 hits and the delay, that one was pretty good too. Salvo getting nerfed, that one was also very good. The worst part about is obviously them nerfing every single grenade in the game. I don't know why the fuck they did that. But there's been some good nerfs, some bad nerfs, I don't know. But the problem is we don't exactly know what happened to this patch because they didn't tell us how badly every skill got nerfed. So I don't even know. I don't know.
The name and text of the keystones from Heroic Tragedy Timeless Jewels now correctly match up with the relevant expedition leader. Keystones conquered by Ulrith are now called Knightly Tenets, keystones conquered by Medved are now called Circular Teachings, and keystones conquered by Varana are now called Black Scythe Training. This change does not apply to existing items.
Man, I don't know, man, guys. I don't know. You know what? I'm okay. I'm okay with the nerfs. I'm okay. Guys, just cheer up. Okay, I'm okay with every nerf they've done so far, except fire skills and grenades. I don't know I don't know what the fuck they were smoking when they did that. But like everything else, I'm okay with. Fuck it. Like just give me the worst, right? Just give me the worst. I don't know, man. What happened?
Item changes. Item changes. Jeweler's orbs now set a skill gem to have the specified number of support gem sockets, rather than adding support gem sockets to a skill gem with a specific number of support gem sockets already. For example, you can now use a perfect Jeweler's orb on a skill gem with 2 support gem sockets to set it to have 5 support gem sockets. Advanced and expert item base types now have distinctive names. Runes now have 3 tiers. For example, the Storm Rune has been split into a Lesser Storm Rune, a Storm Rune and a Greater Storm Rune. You are able to reforge 3 lesser runes for 1 regular rune of that type, and reforge 3 regular runes for 1 greater rune of that type.
That's a good
Double
change.
the drop rate of runes. You can no longer reforge 3 runes to obtain a random rune in return. Using a Vaal orb on an item can no longer cause a modifier with a value of 1 to be reduced to 0. The base damage of all crossbows has been increased. Crossbows also now have 2-handed versions of added damage modifiers, instead of the 1-handed versions they were using.
Crossbows! Let's go crossbows! That's my baby right there. Crossbows, dude. I like that. That's good.
Physical thorns damage on rare item modifiers has been buffed by up to 3.5 times for the highest tier modifier, scaling down to unchanged for the lowest tier modifier. Increased rarity of items found modifiers on items have been lowered at top end. The suffix modifier now goes up to 25% at the highest tier, previously 30%, while the prefix modifier now goes up to 25% at the highest tier, previously 32%. Golden Charm now grants 15% increased rarity of items found, previously 20%. Breach rings now have the implicit modifier of maximum quality is 40%, previously 50%. Existing items can be updated using a divine orb. The chance for breach rings to drop has been greatly reduced.
I mean, no, it doesn't. Like, if they're gonna buff crossbows and they like nerf scattershot, and the grenades, I don't think it makes grenades like even viable. I think it's just worse. Like 35% less damage is like insane, right? So you pretty much just lost one of your like better supports in the early game, and you're like dependent on getting basically the +1 grenade crossbow and like the +1 on tree, and now with the scattershot nerf, like Deadeye just becomes the most optimal grenade ascendancy in the game, and the thing that they were made for, which is mercenary, are completely useless. So overall, just pretty bad changes for grenades. Right? Like, because getting if you can't use scattershot anymore, you have to play Deadeye, right? You have to. You just 100% have to. What am I playing? I'm not playing grenades, but like, don't you think like, if you were gonna make grenades for mercenaries, at least the mercenary should be really good for them and not like some ranger from like half a freaking like tree away? I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like all of the mercenary freaking things were just like such a flop for crossbows in general.
Notable passive skills in the starting areas of each class can no longer be instilled or found on unique items like Megalomaniac. This does not fix existing items where instilled notables in the Sorceress, which starting area could display incorrectly on the item due to the notables being different on which compared to Sorceress and other classes. Added new dual modifiers that provide similar benefits to new passive skills added to the passive skill tree, such as companions have increased maximum life. Dual and time lost dual modifiers that provided stats scarcely located on the passive skill tree, such as increased blind effect or damage taken recouped as life, have been adjusted. Generally speaking, the minimum range has stayed the same, but the maximum value provided is lower than before. Increased effect of auras from your aura skills can no longer roll on duels or time lost duels.
Nerfed again? Not only you lost half of your sockets, now you can't even roll the mod? Holy, these guys, dude. These guys, dude. It is over. It is over. It's all over.
The fletching dual and time lost dual modifiers that provide increased bonuses gained from equipped quiver now have values of 4 to 6% and 2 to 3% respectively, previously 5 to 15% and 3 to 7%. The dual modifier that grants increased energy generation now grants 2 to 6%, previously 3 to 7%. Existing items can be rerolled using a divine orb. The soul core of Azkarpa has 5% increased quantity of gold dropped by slain enemies, previously 10% increased rarity of items found.
Yep, I'm gonna go farm some gold drops, bro. Some gold drops. Let's go. Let's go farm some gold. Fuck yeah.
The corruption modifiers on jewels that provide plus 510 of a specific attribute now have values of plus 4 to 6.
Okay.
The corrupted modifier on helmets and rings that provides 1 to 2% of life regenerated per second can no longer roll. It has been replaced with a new corrupted modifier that provides 1 to 2% increased life regeneration rate.
What?
Scepters can now only roll up to plus 4 to level of all minion skills, previously plus 5. Existing items are unaffected. Scepters can now only roll up to 80% increased presence area of effect, previously 30%. A divine orb can be used on existing items to obtain these new values.
Minions nerf? Bro, what is this? What the do they know what that mod means? Guys, you guys know like your life regeneration in game is like complete garbage, right? Like Warrior has like 3%, right? You're making a corrupted mod that's like 2% of 3%. Oh my god, dude. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have?
Amulet modifiers that provide 5 to 6%, 7 to 8% or 9 to 10% increased maximum mana now have values of 3 to 4%, 5 to 6%, and 7 to 8% respectively. Belts, gloves, and boots can now only roll up to plus 105 to 124 to maximum mana. Helmets can now only roll up to plus 125 to 149 to maximum mana. Wands, scepters, staves, and fossi can now only roll up to plus 150 to 164 to maximum mana.
Rings can only roll... Wait, didn't they just say rings? Okay. Rings can only roll up to 165 to 179 to maximum mana. The debuffs you inflict have 20 to 30% increased magnitude of slows corrupted modifier on gloves can no longer roll. The first two tiers of added elemental damage modifiers on weapons have had their values lowered? What? Like, you mean like level 1 and like level 1 or like the highest tier? Because the first two tiers is the lowest tier. Is it like 1 to 3 now? Is it 1 to 3? I think it's 1 to 3. Added lightning damage modifiers on weapons have to had... Wait, why? Why did they... Wait, Fizz was already way better than Ellie. Why did they nerf Ellie? Shouldn't they have nerfed Fizz? Wait, this is crazy talk. I don't even understand why this happened. The relic modifiers that cause merchants to have additional options now grant a single additional option. What?
The relic modifier that causes the merchant to have additional options now only grants a single additional option, previously 2 to 3. Existing items can be ruined using a divine orb.
Oh, okay. It's the Sanctum relic. All right, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's honestly not too bad. I expected worse. I still think all of Jonathan's bosses are still gonna get one shot, like pretty easily. I don't even think it's that bad. I feel like it should have been like much worse. They're like, I'm pretty sure like they're all gonna die like instantly. So it's not gonna matter. This was not enough. Even if they nerfed all the skills in half, it wasn't enough to slow people down. But I hope they didn't nerf the skills like in like Act 1 where we had no gear and it's just gonna be like Omega Pain Champ for like an hour. Freaking, I hope they didn't happen because that's not fun. I don't want like, if I had to like slow down and go into zones to farm gear in Act 1 because I do absolutely no damage, that is not going to be fun. I can honestly tell you that. I hope they did like all the like reducing damage on the high end, and like all the like graphs go like that instead of like, you know, like where they were before went like this, right? But I hope they didn't like, I don't know. Hope they didn't fuck up the campaign shit way too much, because yeah, most of the skills for campaign kind of suck already.
Bosses that need to perform certain actions to progress their fight will now become immune to damage if their life is brought significantly past the point at which that action should be used. This should have no noticeable effect to most players, but will prevent cases where bosses could get semi-permanently crowd controlled and prevent the fight from progressing. Armor on all monsters has been reduced by 30%. Soul Eater on monsters now grants 1% skill speed and 1% less damage taken per stack, previously 5% and 2%. Now stacks to a maximum of 50, previously 45.
That's above. Why can't they do this in PoE 1? So we can actually kill the monsters. That's a good change. That's really good. Good job.
The life of the following pinnacle bosses has been adjusted. Ulrith, the Origin of the Fall, Zeist, We the One, the King in the Mists, and the Arbiter of Ash. At difficulty 0 they now have roughly half the maximum life as before, scaling back up to be unchanged by difficulty 4. The life of the Trialmaster and Zarek, the Temporal, have been reduced. The following bosses no longer have armor penetration. Ulrith, the Origin of the Fall, Zeist, We the One, the King in the Mists, and the Arbiter of Ash. Lowered the damage conversion to other elements for some skills used by the Arbiter of Ash and Ulrith, the Origin of the Fall.
Oh, remember when people were complaining about armor being useless? Don't worry, the mobs had armor penetration, bro. And the blue mobs broke your armor all the time. That's why that show is so trash, dude. It's so good, dude.
The Arbiter of Ash now has a tapering less damage taken buff for the correct amount of time. The Arbiter of Ash now deals increased damage with a select few abilities.
What?
Scourge of the Skies now deals increased damage on his vomit abilities. Zyclusion, the Chimera, now deals increased damage with their Leap Slam. The Trialmaster now deals increased damage with his Channel Blood Slam. Rafik of the Frozen Spring now deals increased damage with their Multi-Slam skill. Stoneclad Gorillas now deal reduced damage with their Leap Slams. Mighty Silverfist's Dodge Roll now deals reduced damage.
Yeah, thanks, Zachy. Thanks. Freaking 3 months too late, bro. 3 months fucking too late with your little Mighty Fist Dodge Roll damage reduction. 3 months too late. It's not even my fault.
Ulrith, Origin of the Fall, now deals increased damage with his dash skills. Asher, the Sand. Ulrith, Origin of the Fall, now deals increased damage with his dash skills. Wrathbreaker now has a resistance to cold and a vulnerability to fire. Lowered the damage of it that hates Chaos Quicksand skill. Count Giona's 180-degree swipe attack can no longer be blocked.
Oh shit. No longer be blocked? Wait, did this really need to happen?
Monsters now have high light stun damage scaling with level. In the very early parts of the campaign there is no change, scaling to around twice as much light stun damage in the endgame. Lowered the maximum number of monsters that can be alive at once in ritual encounters, particularly earlier in the game. Electrocute now builds up roughly 44% slower on non-players. Pin now builds up roughly 58% slower on non-players. Magic enemies are now primed for stun when they have at least 50% heavy stun buildup, rare at 60% and unique at 70%, previously 60%, 70%, and 80% respectively. Magic enemies are now primed for electrocution when they have at least 50% electrocution buildup, rare at 60% and unique at 70%, previously 60%, 70%, and 80% respectively. Destructible pillars in Zyclusion, the Chimera's Arena have had their life increased.
Guys, we're gonna get stunned. The fuck? Oh my god, it's gonna be like, oh no, dude. Can you guys imagine, like, the people who are gonna, like, I guess Blacksmith is, like, Gotchi Blacksmith is gonna be OP. But can you imagine going up to melee range and then, like, doing your slow-ass ability and some monsters just, like, stun, 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 and you just keep getting stunned and you keep getting stunned and you're just perma-stun? Oh my god, bro. It's going to be bad. Yeah, I can't imagine Alkaiser being very happy with this patch. But he also asked for, like, the most horrible patch you can ever imagine. So I can't imagine him being very happy. Him and Karn probably aren't very happy, right? I missed a line? What did I miss? Rare mods? Oh.
Added a series of enhanced rare monster modifiers that are more powerful than the standard versions and more rewarding.
Arch Nemesis?
Some rare monster modifiers now scale at later levels, providing better rewards. Zarek, the Temporal, no longer targets non-players with his rewind skill. The Treant Fungal Reaver ritual monster now correctly deals damage, and their damage and behavior has been adjusted. The Bloated Miller's charge now pushes players sideways instead of carrying them along. The Bloated Miller's shield charge can no longer be blocked.
Wait, they added Arch Nemesis to the game and just, like, tried to fit it in one little line? In the middle of nowhere? These guys think they're slick. These guys think they're slick. Oh, they They nerfed all the players and then added Arch Nemesis? It's over. It's over.
The lethal rare monsters now grants rare monsters an additional modifier, previously 2. Rare monsters minions have been made stronger defensively and now scale far more appropriately in party play. The powerful minions modifier has been reduced in power to compensate for the above. The guaranteed magic monsters near the exit of the Dreadnought will no longer respawn when you respawn at checkpoint if you have killed them.
You're so popular.
Various fungal-themed monsters now have a resistance to cold and a vulnerability to fire. Slightly reduced the damage dealt and number of projectiles fired by Barlick, the Sky Seer's feather spray skills. Iron Enforcers no longer use their tentacle grab skill.
The Sump map boss has been renamed from the Eater of Children to Baraka the Withered Crone? She still eats children? You know why this happened, right? Some fucking terrible parent let their 8-year-old freaking play Path of Exile 2. And then the little 8-year-old went into this boss and got scared, be like, Daddy, he's gonna eat me. And then he went on the internet and went on the forums, be like, I can't believe you guys put this monster in the game. Now my kid is having nightmares every single day and he won't go to school because he's scared in his bed, shit in his bed every day. Oh my God. And they had to change the name from the Eater of Children to Baraka the Withered Crone. It is over. Also, it's all over for that kid. But patrolling monsters can no longer be imprisoned in essences. Incrementally improved monster behavior. Okay.
Quest changes. You now must open the Helani gates before you can advance the Ascent to Power quest to the point of being able to travel to the Trial of the Sekimas. The Earning Passage quest now ends on entering the Ardura caravan in Act 2, rather than after speaking to Zaka in Vastiri outskirts.
Honestly speaking, guys, like, I don't even think this patch is that bad. Like, unless the numbers to every single, like, let's say on the average, let's say like they just nerfed 20 to 30% off of every single skill, I don't think it's that bad. I honestly don't think it's that bad. I honestly think it's like, it's like pretty normal. Like, all they did was like nerf like attributes and mana and shit. And like, some outliers, I know certain things didn't make sense. Like, Scattershot probably needed a nerf for bows. But, and in all honesty, it's probably still going to be a pretty easy game, IMO.
User interface changes. Added the ability to spectate party members if you died in combat. Added the ability to pan the minimap overlay when using a controller. Hovering over any instance of the presence keyword will now show an indicator around your character to visualize your presence radius. Hovering over a skill on your skill bar now displays a shortened description of the skill's behavior, with a button prompt to open the skill information panel. The instilling menu can no longer be closed if you have an item placed within it. The Ritual Rewards menu now pauses the game. Item filter gem level filtering now applies to uncut gems. When leveling up gems, changes are now highlighted more obviously.
I can't. Oh my God, I'm laughing so hard. Can you imagine like 3 Xbox cucks playing their little fucking Path of Exile 2 on their Xbox and be like, I'm dead, bro. Please kill the boss. Please kill the boss. I'm watching you, bro. Oh no, dude. You can do it, dude. That happens to my buddy a lot on Xbox. That's me. Oh man, that's so good, dude. That's so good, dude. That's so good. I love it. I love it.
Item filter gem level filtering now applies to uncut gems. When leveling up gems, changes are now highlighted more obviously. Improved the visibility and readability of text and icons on the monster life bars. Made a number of improvements to the stats displayed on the character panel and skill information panels. For example, the character panel now displays your modified energy shield recharge delay and ailment thresholds, and skill panels now show more detailed ailment and hit chance information, among other changes. A HUD icon is now displayed if you are using a controller and have turned off item labels.
Okay.
Improved many cases in couch co-op where the second player could not interact with mechanics or UI elements. Relics can now be quick moved to the relic altar when using a controller. Added functionality to set targeting mode per skill when using a controller. Improved UI panel behavior in couch co-op. When using a controller, picking up items will no longer fail due to skills in progress. Added an optional bindable action when using a controller that allows the player to cycle through socketed crossbow ammo, ignoring skills that are disabled in the current weapon set. Added an optional bindable action when using a controller that reloads your current crossbow ammo type. While using a controller, quick swapping an equipped weapon will now place any support gems socketed in the skill granted by the old weapon in your inventory. When using a controller, detonating arrow and freezing salvo will now target enemies if not manually aimed. Redesigned the cosmetics equipment interface. You can now open the chat while in the cosmetics panel, so you can flex your pilfering ring in global.
Wait, why don't we get this? That's bullshit. That is bullshit. I want auto-aim. Where the fuck is my auto-aim?
Microtransaction changes. Enable the following existing armor microtransactions for use in Path of Exile 2. Deepwater Armor Set, Misery Helmet Attachment, Pandemonium Armor Set. Enable the following existing finisher effect microtransactions for use in Path of Exile 2.
I don't care about microtransactions.
Plummeting.
You guys can
Hi,
freaking...
please type in or paste some text, and I will be happy to read it out loud for you. You may also upload files, ebooks, and web pages.
Oh, shut up.
Bug fixes. Fixed a bug where skills that allow movement during their actions wouldn't apply their slow at full effect if used with higher values of attack or cast speed, and not held down.
Ooh, you're so popular.
Fixed a bug where you could unreserve
Meow.
and re-reserve minions to resummon them instantly while they were in the process of resummoning. Fixed a bug where cancelling a skill with the Infernalist's Pyromantic Pact Ascendancy passive skill allocated would still cause the player to gain Infernal Flame. Fixed a bug where Wind Dancer stages could be kept after weapon swapping to a weapon set that did not have Wind Dancer activated. Fixed an issue where some triggered skills were able to generate energy, such as Burning Inscription. Fixed a bug that could cause Shattering Palm's ice shards to occasionally fail to explode. Fixed a bug
Maybe
where
it was
ignited
this.
ground created by Incinerate was not dealing damage correctly compared to other sources of ignited ground. Fixed a bug that could cause support gems applying to persistent buff skills to apply twice. Fixed a bug where Sunder's aftershocks could hit enemies too many times.
Oh. Wait, guys. Bug fixes are important, guys. Because they label everything as bug fixes when they're nerfed, so I need to read this.
Fixed a bug where Resonating Shield recovered stagger much faster than the inherent Raise Shield skill. Fixed a bug where Blink could be used to travel through walls.
Ooh.
Fixed a bug where effects that consume shocks could only consume a single shock at once. If the target has multiple active shocks, they now consume and benefit from all of them. Fixed a
Holy.
bug where the more projectile damage after piercing an enemy stat granted by quality on high velocity rounds did not function. Fixed a bug that could cause shield-based attacks to not deal damage. Fixed some wonkiness with skills that could occur when using flasks, such as Plague Bearer Poison Nova stacks being cleared. Fixed a bug preventing ferocity support from functioning correctly.
Oh, shit. Nice. I like this. I like these bug fixes. They're good.
Fixed a bug where skeletons impaled on offerings could sometimes still use skills if commanded to do so. Fixed a bug that could cause emergency reload to empower fewer attacks than intended. Fixed a bug with second wind support and demon form where the additional cooldown would still tick while in demon form. Fixed a rounding issue that could cause skills used by an Infernalist to sometimes fail to generate Infernal Flame. Fixed a bug that could cause Lingering Illusion to stop functioning when supported by specific support gems if you had very little unreserved spirit. Fixed a bug where Stomping Ground support would not function if you had a wand or scepter equipped. Fixed a bug where spell-related support gems could not support skeletal arsonists.
Oh, I'm just gonna do all of these. Holy shit, there's so many.
Fixed a bug where long fuse support did not prevent grenades from being detonated. Fixed a bug where crossbow shot could consume more than one bolt when firing more than one projectile. Fixed a
Wow.
bug where Eye of Winter passing over multiple ailment ground effects only got the extra damage bonus from the most recent one, rather than all of them. Fixed a bug where the Collapsing Horizon unique quarterstaff was providing its elemental gem level bonus multiple times to skills with more than one element type.
Holy.
Fixed a bug where shield
That's
charge
not a
was not
bug, is
correctly
it?
interacting with active block mechanics. Fixed a bug where the damage gained as extra elemental damage on detonating arrow was applied at the same time as non-skill sources of damage conversion, gain instead of before them. Fixed a bug where the cast on block skill granted by the Svalin unique shield was granting the wrong amount of energy. It now grants 25 base energy on block, previously displayed 250 but actually granting 2.5.
Wait,
Fixed
this
a
is
bug where
awesome.
Vile
Good now.
Fusion, the skill used by Dark Effigy, was not correctly scaling with area damage. Fixed a bug where a skill's cooldown could stop when under the effects of multiple sources of reduced cooldown recovery rate. Fixed a bug where the damage bonus provided by fresh clip support was shared between skills and weapon sets. Unsocketing the support also now correctly removes the bonus. Fixed a
Oh,
bug that could
shit,
cause Mana
really?
Tempest to stop draining the player's mana. Fixed a bug where Shockwave triggered by striking Tempest Bell was not correctly scaling with knockback. Fixed a bug where Thorns were not causing stun, freeze, electrocute, pin, armor break, daze, nor knockback. Fixed a bug where Profane Ritual did not work with the Hinder or Chaotic Freeze supports. Fixed a bug where Fiery Death's Explosion was not considered as a triggered skill, and therefore could be supported by some supports that don't apply to triggered skills. Fixed a bug where more poisons than should be active could damage the same target when the poisons had different limits. Fixed a bug where projectiles that cannot chain, such as Lightning Arrow, were channing off of terrain. Fixed a bug where marks could deal offhand hits when dual wielding, causing 0 damage because they don't have offhand damage stats. Fixed a bug that caused various aftershock related stats that were intended to apply specifically to your skills to also apply to skills used by totems. Fixed a bug that could occur if using Iron Grip and Iron Will in combination with an effect allowing spell damage increases to apply to attacks.
Wait, what effects allow spell damage increases to apply to attacks? We don't have that in PoE 2, do we? I don't even know what we have. Yeah, I know what the chest is, but I don't know.
Fixed a bug where impact shockwave was not scaling with area modifiers. Fixed a bug where aftershocks caused by slam skills you use with maces through the split the earth notable passive skill were not scaling with area modifiers. Fixed a bug where shattering palm ice shards could fail to deal damage when weapon swapping. Fixed a bug where sources of less minimum or more maximum physical attack damage, such as Hef support or the Ricelith's coil unique belt, were not working correctly with damage conversion.
Ooh.
Fixed a bug where the benefits of Hef support were applying twice to minions. Fixed a bug where meta skills were not correctly counting energy costs for subsequent skills if a skill that consumed a corpse was socketed first in sequence. Fixed a bug where some modifiers that affected delirium splinters, such as Distilled Despair or the I'm Not Afraid of You, notable Atlas passive, were not working correctly.
Oh, holy shit, there's so many. Jesus Christ, what is this, dude?
Fixed a bug where Seismic Cry, and other delayed cooldown skills, could consume 2 cooldown charges when supported by Second Wind. Fixed a bug where Gathering Storm was not affected by ground duration modifiers. Fixed a bug where the Lord of the Pit Boss was not being affected by map boss difficulty modifiers. Fixed a bug where corrosion support caused all poisons present on the target to apply armor break based on their magnitude, not just those actually applying damage to the target. Fixed a bug where the fire exposure on fully breaking armor from the Wyland's Stake unique mace would not always apply consistently. Fixed a bug where some modifiers to armor break amount did not apply correctly to armor break caused by stunning enemies. Fixed a bug where conditional effects that looked for ailments on the target didn't count electrocute. Fixed a bug where crossbow reload speed was not being affected by local attack speed modifiers on the crossbow itself. Fixed a bug that caused Demon Form's current cooldown time to not be displayed. Fixed a bug where using Demon Form would kill your minions when using a controller. Fixed bug where Solren projectiles were unable to debuff targets after passing through chests. Fixed a bug which could incorrectly limit when you could use life flasks with Eternal Youth. Fixed an issue where Ghost Dance quality was incorrect. Fixed a bug where Volcanic Fissure could fail to create fissures when targeting locations very close to the player. Fixed a bug where offering skills could target the wrong skeleton. Fixed a bug where Shockwave Totem supported by Astral Projection would prioritize targets in a specific direction from the totem. Fixed a bug where Balliste could target inanimate objects. Fixed an issue where swapping to a new ammo type while using a controller could fail due to other actions interrupting the change. Fixed a bug where some of the stats on the Gale Force skill triggered by Wind Dancer were not being displayed. Fixed a bug where toxic growth poisoning on hit was not described. Fixed a bug where the maximum number of active lightning rods did not display on the gem, only on the skill information panel. Fixed a bug where the Raging Spirits skill did not display the duration of the spirits. Fixed a bug where Balliste and Ancestral Warrior Totem did not display their weapons-based critical hit chances. Fixed a bug where some sources of aftershock chance were not being displayed in the skill information panel. Fixed a bug where the visual effect from Stomping Ground support lingered around after the damage was dealt. Fixed a bug where Gathering Storm erroneously had the strike tag. Fixed a bug where Cold Snap's area of effect did not play a visual effect. Fixed a bug where Comet's impact radius was not displayed.
Okay, guys, these bug fixes are important, guys. Bug fixes are important because, like, I don't know what's a mechanic and what's a freaking, like, bug in PoE 2. Because apparently Vine Arrow was considered a bug, so I need to read
Fixed
this.
a bug where Frost Wall did not display its length on the gem or skill information. Fixed a bug where Martial Tempo was able to support triggered skills. Fixed a bug where Ghost Dance did not display the maximum number of Ghost Shrouds you could have on the gem. Fixed a bug where the Holy Descent and Shocking Leap support gems would not enable area, duration or ground effect related support gems to support their skill. Fixed a bug where the benefit provided by quality on Combat Frenzy was missing a description. This is not a functional change, the benefit was previously applying, just not described. Fixed a bug where Precision support used the wrong 2D art. This will not affect existing copies of the gem. Fixed some issues relating to endgame Atlas generation. Fixed a bug where the reduced resistances to Trials of Chaos modifiers was incorrectly granting maximum elemental resistances instead of lowering them. Fixed a bug where the Arbiter of Ash boss fight could be paused in some situations. Fixed a bug where Quetzali, High Priest of the Sun could get out of sync when slowed. Fixed a bug where Quetzali, High Priest of the Sun could immediately face the player while using their laser skill if they were knocked back. Fixed a case where players could get out of bounds during the Quetzali, High Priest of the Sun fight. Fixed a bug where slowing the Arbiter of Ash while they were using their Flame Drop Beam Slam combo skill could cause certain parts of the skill to overlap. Fixed a bug where the swords thrown by Kosis, the Revelation could fail to return to him. Fixed a bug that could cause Kosis, the Revelation to stop taking actions. Fixed a bug where Sekhe Rasala could sometimes fail to put up her Sandstorm shield when fighting Jamanra, the Risen King. Fixed a bug where Barlik, the Sky Seer could start zooming around the outer edge of their arena.
Oh man, I feel like I've seen all of these bugs in action. Oh, there's so many. Oh my god, man.
Fixed a bug where Riona, Winter's Cackle wouldn't fire any projectiles when using their Ice Spike Barrage skill. Fixed a bug where the boss arena in the Val Foundry map did not have an exit available upon defeating the boss. Fixed a bug where you were unable to open a portal in the Sump map boss arena after killing the boss. Fixed a bug where the entrance to the Grimhaven map boss room could fail to activate. Fixed a bug where Quake golems in Trials of the Sekimas could sometimes be immune to damage. Fixed a bug where the Lightning Lance skill used by brutal transcendent enemies could not be blocked or dodge rolled. Fixed a bug where some fireball traps in the Trial of the Sekimas were terminating early on terrain. Fixed a bug where Delirium boss static life bars would appear before engaging the boss. Fixed a bug where the visual indicators for the proximal tangibility monster modifier were not functioning. Fixed an issue that caused monsters in Agorat to not patrol as intended. Fixed a bug where Duretuskbor's charge ability was unable to connect with the player, thus causing it to deal no damage. It will now deal damage correctly. Fixed a bug where some reward marker flags in expedition logbooks had the wrong icon on the flag. Fixed a bug where magic and rare chests could not be found in the decay map. Fixed a bug where the burial bog map could fail to contain extra content. Fixed a bug where the gain damage as extra chaos damage modifier on the Ming's Heart unique ring was not affected by Chayula's catalysts.
Oh shit, that's a buff!
Fixed a bug where the Matsu unique staff's skills reserve 50% less spirit modifier would not apply to totems when using the Ancestral Bond Keystone passive skill. Fixed an issue where the critical damage per power charge modifier on the Power Trade unique boots was being described as base critical damage bonus instead of increased. This is purely a description change.
Nerfed.
Fixed a bug where spirit granted by the Morior Invictus unique body armor was still granted when you could not gain spirit from equipment. Fixed a bug where the attack site unique helmet did not cause critical hits with spells to inflict poison. Fixed a bug where some auras granted by scepters did not update when presence radius changed, such as through the Alpha's HAL unique. Fixed a bug where the benefits from electrocution passive skill and the enemies immobilized by you take 25% less damage modifier on the Sign Equo unique gloves could sometimes end prematurely. Fixed a bug where the Sacred Flame unique scepter applied its enemies in your presence resist elemental damage based on their lowest resistance aura to the player instead of enemies.
Oh, that is crazy, dude. That is a crazy one. So what happens? You just die instantly? That one is crazy, dude. Guys, there's not that many. Holy, there's okay, here. We're almost done.
Fixed a bug where you would take damage from the Heartbound Loop unique ring when you unsocketed minion gems or the minions expired. Fixed a bug where the Falcon Dive notable passive skill was providing 1% increased attack speed per 150 accuracy rating, instead of per 250, to your offhand. Fixed a bug where a number of passive skills that grant bonuses while wielding a staff were also functioning while wielding a quarterstaff. Most of these now only work with staves. However, the increased defenses granted by the one with the River notable passive skill are now only granted while wielding a quarterstaff. Fixed a bug with the interaction of the Impending Doom notable passive skill and the Hex Bloom support. Fixed a bug where effects that occur on reaching maximum rage were not functioning correctly if you went from 0 rage to maximum rage in a single hit. Fixed a bug where the time lost dual modifier that was intended to grant notable passive skills increased effect instead granted small passive skills increased effect. Existing items are unaffected. Fixed a bug where modifiers on scepters did not stack. Multiple players within a party can now have the same scepter modifier and it will stack. This also fixes an issue where Lear cast could not stack. Fixed a bug where the glove's corruption enchantment that causes enemies to drop increased gold did not function. Fixed a bug where quality on scepters multiplied the amount of spirit they granted instead of granting quality to their inherent skill. Fixed a bug where the unhindered notable passive skill could not be instilled onto an amulet. Fixed a bug where greater essences could not be used on items with other items socketed in them. Fixed an issue where the two small passive skills leading to the repulsion notable were incorrectly granting spell skills increased area of effect instead of area damage. Fixed a bug where the chance for trigger skills to refund half of energy spent description could disappear if the chance was over 100%. This was just a display issue with the description. Fixed a bug where the Greed Shrine buff was granted by an Avarice Shrine. In all instances this should now be referred to as a Greed Shrine. Fixed a bug where Saber Spiders could still attack while imprisoned in an essence. Fixed a bug where characters could become stuck between a wall and some indestructible pottery in the Lost City. Fixed a flickering bug that could sometimes occur when using the DirectX 12 renderer. Fixed a bug in the passive skill tree where jewels could sometimes be placed into a different socket to the one you clicked. Fixed a bug that would allow you to visually allocate more passive skills than you had points to spend. Fixed a bug where the Struggle Scream unique amulet could not be stored in the unique stash tab. Fixed a bug in item filters where using greater than equals to filter the number of sockets was not working. Fixed a bug where the list of available public parties could fail to load if you logged in directly to your hideout. Fixed a bug where increases to gem levels from global modifiers was not displaying when socketed inside meta gems while using controller input. Fixed a bug where Control plus Alt plus C did not include information on skills granted by items. Fixed a bug where the League migration options could disappear when using a controller if you went to migrate but then cancelled out of it. Fixed targeting issues with Incinerate and Bone Storm when using a controller. Fixed some issues targeting corpses when using a controller. Fixed a bug where trials of the Sekemi could not be accessed in couch co-op. Fixed a bug in couch co-op where player 2 was not able to place a jewel in a socket on their passive skill tree until player 1 had allocated a jewel socket. Fixed a bug where dialogue lines could be output to chat twice in couch co-op. Fixed a bug where dialogue lines could be output to chat twice in couch co-op. Fixed a bug preventing skipping cutscenes in some circumstances. Fixed a bug preventing the cosmetics menu from displaying properly in some hideouts. Fixed a bug where the Wolfsbane unique shield 3D art was smaller than intended. Fixed 5 client crashes.
Oh, okay. Just missed the boat. There's more. The below features were showcased, but unfortunately were not able to be included with the 0.2 patch. We will patch these in as soon as they're ready. Added the ability to lock your... Oh my god, that's not even in? We can't lock our main hand for weapon swaps? Oh no. Wait, we already read all of this. Oh, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Guys, it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. And oh my god, they made it. Someone made it. I thought we were gonna get past page 1 and we were gonna be fine today, but someone got in. It's not even that bad, guys. It's not even that bad. Was it bad? Was that bad, guys? I feel like that patch wasn't even terrible. I expected a lot worse, to be honest. The biggest winners, we don't know. We don't even know what they did because they didn't include numbers for skills. So a bunch of skills could have got nerfed or buffed, and we don't even know. They like nerf grenades within nerf crit weakness. That's crazy, but it's fine. I don't know, man. We get skill numbers tomorrow? Really? Did they really say that? Wait, did they really say that? Wait, did they say we're gonna get gems tomorrow? No, they're not gonna give us gems. No, the data mine is like the day after from pre-download. The Torn is tomorrow? I don't even know. They didn't rework evasion formula. All they did is nerf Wind Dancer. Anyways, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Dude, it's like freaking 9 o'clock. I have to like get ready for bed because I have to like wake up in like 7 hours. I'm old. Freaking I have to go to work. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna like freaking like watch some baseball and then fall asleep. Tomorrow, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna go over the 2 builds in detail, our League Starter plans, because nothing they did fucked with my League Starters. None of my builds got nerfed. All LFG. Anyways, the bleed build, yeah, it's fine. Like, I feel like it's gonna be like okay. Bro, I don't know, man. I think PF might be like really good. They nerfed frenzy charges? No, they didn't. All right, anyways, I'll show you guys. I'm gonna go in deep detail of the builds that I'm gonna probably leak start, and I think they're all fine, honestly. Woo! All right, bye, loves. Have fun at Benzor's. Hugs, kisses, bye.